Hello and welcome back to The Rising Dawn, The Raven's Favour. I'm R, your Dungeon Master for this evening. Are we ready to go?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please.
Let the adventure begin. We catch up with the Dawnbringers after their second infiltration of the Abbey of the Children of Radiance went from a quiet and careful stealth mission into an emotional hurricane. Cornering the Moon Maiden Danica in the dormitories, the party learned that Danica had come to Sable seeking Sariel, after visions from Sayanine that Sariel was to be the next foretold of her clan. Finally sneaking into the inner sanctum, the Dawnbringers made their way towards the Prophet's room to find a huge, moving, celestial machine, a prophecy engraved into the floor. Dragged into a vision, they saw a chance at stopping the prophesied destruction of Caldera, facing off against a vast army traversing the desolate continent, and they saw themselves and an opposing army of unified forces from all the city-states of Caldera.
No pressure.
There was no time to contemplate on their vision, as the magic-wielding daughters of the Abbey attempted to bring them down, and a wall of force was thrown up, separating Vanden, who was overcome in inexplicable pain. Making their escape through a window, the rest of the party located Vanden in the main hall of the church, strung up by his wings, as Father Howe began Enoch's resurrection. Things only took a turn for the worse, as Enoch possessed Vanden's body, and he made to attack them just as Sariel had foreseen. Bringing him down with poison that put him to sleep and escaping back to the Raven House, the party made a heavy decision. The only way they could think to free him from the possession was to kill him. Astra warded Vanden's body from being repossessed, Cassian plunging a dagger into his heart and waiting for it to stop before Sariel revived him. Vanden came back to them, confused and shaken, with a single message. He'd been in the Shadowfell, where he'd seen an angel with black wings and fiery hair. His father. Party, Vanden sits before you now, stripped to his waist with blood drying across his skin, 2 new scars on his stomach and over his heart. His hands tremble with exhaustion, dark circles forming under his eyes from the experience of being resurrected.
What?
I know it sounds ridiculous. I was stuck somewhere between life and death in the Shadowfell. I found myself standing in a place of pure darkness, barely an echo of myself. I could feel my consciousness starting to blur and slip away from me. Eventually, a light began to glow, a coppery glow that I almost believed was from my wings, until I saw him, Azrael. Huge winged man with fiery hair and black wings tipped in copper that gave off a glow just like my own.
The Azrael. Of Azrael's strength.
What did he say? It's okay. Take your time.
I was never in Argentford. I was put here in the world with the purpose of stopping whatever's going to come to pass. That's all I exist for. Azrael's the one who's been sending me the dreams that brought us here to Sable.
Wow.
What happened?
What do you remember?
When we were fighting, I felt the death of another angel. somewhere in the world. I only saw a flash of it in my mind. Struck down with a powerful blade. I hadn't seen anything like it. But I felt it as though I'd been struck down myself.
Did you see them? Any indication as to who it was?
No. Just golden blood pooling on the floor. And then I passed out, and when I came to, I was hanging there in the church. Astra, you were trying to get me down. I didn't have any control of myself. I saw everything until you put me to sleep. Could feel him in my mind, like a poison that was threatening to consume me and push me out.
Very nearly did.
He's gone now.
Permanently, should be. We're outside of Sable, so his spirit shouldn't be able to go to the Shadowfell.
I think you're right.
Well, that's the whole thing about that town, wasn't it? If you die in the walls, you don't die.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Thank the gods.
Gonna pour a glass of water for Vanden and just pass it over.
He just cradles it. The Shadowfell was terrifying. But I have to go back there.
What? Why?
We were sent here to Sable because we're not strong enough yet to face what's coming. But if we could stop one small part of it here, then we've made an impact. Azrael said he can't enter the material realm of his own volition. Why he can't retrieve the artifact from the heart of the Abbey
So he wants us to do it.
and take it back to him. It's too powerful to be in any mortal hands.
What exactly does it do? Did he say that?
We didn't have long to speak. I'm not going to ask you to do this with me.
You're not doing it on your own.
Of course we're going back in.
You need to get your stuff anyway. Let's take a rest for now, though.
I died, didn't I? I felt it. We don't have to talk about it.
Cassian points to the little scar on his chest and just says, I did that. It's the only way I could think to get you back to yourself. I'm sorry.
It worked. That's all that matters. I need a drink.
Pulls out Percival's moonshine.
Oh God. Sure. You can take that. You can take a swig. At this point, Bishop sort of wraps his knuckles on the door from where you'd sent him outside. Opens it slightly. Is it safe to come in?
Yes, sorry.
All's well?
As can be, yes. Shouldn't have any more problems with Enoch, at least.
That's good to know. He carries Mercy back in. You see that Percival is still unconscious, where he's been probably laid out on one of the bedrolls.
Understandable.
Mercy runs over to you, Astra. It's like, tugs on your sleeve. You okay?
Yes, I'm fine, little one.
Are you all okay? Bishop said big scary things were happening.
Very scary, but I'm sure you're very brave.
So are you. Bravest people ever. So, what's next?
Well, apparently we're going to the Shadowfell.
Not before going to the Abbey to retrieve things.
Yes, then we should probably deal with the Abbess.
It's a good idea. If you're going to the Shadowfell, you probably need to know a few things about it first.
Anything you can tell us?
Please.
Again, I'll see what I can find in Peter's notes. He just goes back over to the bookshelf and starts leafing through. Vanden drinks for a while, sits in silence and sort of draws his knees up onto the seat. It's not long until Percival starts to stir.
I'll go over and make sure he's alright.
He comes to slowly, looking a little shaken as he comes out of being knocked out. He looks over your face in shock and hurt and a little anger at first. Where am I?
Somewhere safe.
What happened?
Take a minute.
You hear Mercy like, Percival!
Give him some space for a minute, little one.
Hides behind Astra a bit, holds onto your sleeve.
Grip.
Is it really her?
Yes.
You can see he's clearly worn out and defeated. And oddly already looks a little older than he did.
Good.
Bishop looks over to him from the bookshelf, sort of regards him. Percival catches his eye and they stare at each other for a moment. So, clearly some unspoken things there, but it doesn't look like they're going to talk about it in front of everyone.
Right, well, how are you feeling?
Far from okay.
You'll live.
Failed everyone. Failed my flock, my gods.
Well, I mean, no offense, but that's pretty good for us.
And, you know, the world.
Yes.
Abbess was right, I never should have trusted you.
Well, let's see. We brought your daughter back. She wanted to, marry your dead ancestor who was going to possess you?
And you were okay with that?
Complicated. It's the only purpose I ever had.
I'm sick of hearing about people being put here for strange destiny purposes. Choose your own life. You know you can do that, right? I'm sure it's going to be a lot easier without that strange voice knocking around in your head.
You know about that now.
How could we not?
You weren't exactly subtle, Percival.
But you've got a second chance.
And you've got someone who needs you now.
I don't know who else to be.
Be her father.
She deserves better than that.
Like what? What do you suggest?
I don't know.
Well, This is up to you. You can sit around and be miserable for yourself and pity yourself for the rest of your life and get nowhere. Or you can pick yourself up and have a chance at something better. Trust me, the second option is a lot more enjoyable. You don't get to run away from this. You get to face it and decide to be better. No one's born good, Percival. You just choose to overcome the evils in your life.
I don't even know where I'd go.
Anywhere. The whole world is open to you now.
We know a town across the lake who might be happy to take refugees. We've recently done them a favour.
It's a good town with good people. I know somebody about her age that would enjoy having someone to play with. Like a real child.
Mercy sort of leans around you again, takes a look at him, and then sort of looks up at you and just runs over and sits next to him. Percival pulls her into his lap and just strokes her hair a little. Okay. You're right. I'll figure it out, just in shock, I guess.
It's going to take time.
It's quiet now.
Good.
You shouldn't be around to hurt anybody ever again.
Been hearing that voice since I was younger than her.
I'm sorry.
What would it say to you?
When I was a child, it wasn't just a voice. I'd see him around the Abbey. Like a ghost. The Abbess always said that was the sign that I was meant to be Enoch's vessel. You see that Mercy's quickly fallen asleep in his lap now. And then, after my initiation, he was in my head. And he was always with me, in my peripheral, sometimes taking over.
You didn't want that though, did you? That's why you were taking the tablets?
It's stress-inducing to have two people in your head. If I'm honest, I was a little afraid of what would happen after he took over my body. Where I would go, what I would be. I want to be angry at you, but you're clearly better people than anyone could have possibly predicted. You should have killed me.
Wouldn't have been right to. You lured us to overhear that conversation that you had with Mother Dywell. We overheard you criticising what she was doing to some of the sisters, and because of that we discovered important things and put a stop to that.
I refuse to believe you were bad people.
Well, you have some sense in you.
The Abbess asked me to invite you to the sermon. As soon as she heard there were strangers in town. It was so rare that strangers would come by, and we were waiting for the false prophet as it was. She was sure it would be the group of you. I'm sorry.
What can you tell us about the Abbess?
What do you want to know?
Anything that would pertain to easily dispatching her.
She's a harsh woman. Extremely devout. Strict in her insistence that suffering is worship.
That's the first thing you're going to have to unlearn.
She raised me and Cause and my sister together. But she was never much like a mother figure. More like a teacher. She could be kinder and softer sometimes. She taught me all about my great-grandfather and my purpose. At this point across the room, Corvus just clears his throat. She was only like this to Percy. Treated me in prudence like students. Swift in her punishments. See, first of all, looked a little sheepish and affronted at that comment. Even after all these years, I don't know much about her. She's in her 90s. She's been with the Abbey for most of her life, raised into it, like most of us. I'm sure that she would have done anything in her power to see this through.
Were you aware that she had a key to your private quarters?
Yes.
Why did she have a key to your private quarters?
Training, discussions about Enoch.
In your private quarters?
In privacy.
If we retrieve the artifact within the inner sanctum, what does that mean for the people of the town? Well, the survivors.
I couldn't say for sure. It's never been out of the Abbey since it was built. But I worried that everybody would rapidly reach a regular age. We were very aware that by the grace of the artifact we were kept younger.
I think that's one of the things that struck me as strange was the hypocrisy of saying that people that, like the undead, the vampires, shouldn't have long lives, but then everyone in your town was living longer lives than you should.
Our problem with the monsters is not their long lives.
It's not something that you don't like.
It's terrifying that they can't be killed. We're plagued by them. She's powerful. She's a powerful spellcaster with a lot of divine power on her side.
The artifact itself, is it arcanely protected in any way?
Not as far as I know. I heard once that a daughter once tried to remove it out of curiosity. Went permanently blind.
Good to know.
But I don't think it's defended. It's not set up with any tricks or traps. I think it's simply powerful.
Okay.
And how do we get to it?
It's in the heart of the machine. Just take it apart.
Easy enough.
It's got no purpose anymore anyway.
Where are Vanden's belongings taken?
The Abbess's rooms.
Thank you.
You should sleep. Take the bed with the girl. She's very happy to see you.
I'm very happy to see her.
Did you know what was happening to her?
He looks extremely pained when you ask that. I asked Mother Dywell to stop, but cowardice, I guess, prevented me from doing anything about it. She could have told the Abbess at any point that Mercy was mine, and she held that over me.
You don't have to worry about her anymore. You two can start again.
Thank you.
Though she has been through some changes, we can fill you in on that at some point.
He stands and picks her up. She's sort of sleeping, head on his shoulder now. I hope you rest well when you do.
Good
night. Go into the back room and pull the curtain across. The bishop's like, still as indoctrinated as ever.
It's all he's ever known. It's going to take him some time to learn a whole new way of living.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about them anymore. I'll sort them out.
Thank you.
Here. He comes over to the table with another one of Peter's books.
She starts talking shit about Percy on the other side of a piece of cloth, like...
I haven't gone to sleep yet.
I'm literally here.
It's just a curtain.
It's just a curtain, mate.
Pay no attention to the Percy behind the curtain. Vanden doesn't get up from where he's seated with the bottle of alcohol when Bishop goes over to the table, but he's listening. He's clearly just like looking over his shoulder and listening. But Bishop lays out another one of these books and flicks through it, and he can tell you a little bit about the Shadowfell.
Oh boy.
Bonk.
You learn that the plane of shadow is an infinite plane that exists as a mirror of the material plane, an echo of it in many ways, touching it at all points. However, that isn't to assume that it looks like our world at all, or can be navigated in the same way. It's a bizarre and forsaken place. The fell twists and changes with the emotions of the endless spirits that inhabit it, their memories of shaping the landscape. There are naturally occurring intermittent portals called vortices, which appear between the material realm and the fell in seemingly random areas of heavy shade or darkness. And he tells you that Peter knew one such portal to be at the bottom of the cave system in Sable.
Good.
He tells you that these portals close up quickly with the influence of light chasing away the shadows. So to traverse them, you have to do so in total darkness. Otherwise, they won't work at all. The Shadowfell is the origin of the Shadow Weave, a secondary, darker weave of magic tapped into in different ways, such as by blood magic, and it heavily influences necromantic magic. The Fell has no sun, no moon, and no stars. It is an ocean of darkness. Light sources penetrate only half as far as they would, and can be spotted from 10 times as far, like a fire on an otherwise empty horizon.
God!
Okay.
There's no easy way to map the landscape as it changes, although there's several cities there, like Gloomwrought and Evernight, which are constant locations. And the domain of the Raven Queen herself, the Fortress of Memories, is where all souls pass through on their way to their final eternal resting places. It is home to the Raven Queen's followers, a shadow race of elves known as the Shadarkai. They are native to the plane and they roam around it in great numbers. It's also home to many, many foul creatures. Some native to the plane, others born out of mortals, lost in the wastelands. He describes the creature that you saw in the old church in Old Sable, as one of these creatures, converted from a living being, lost in the Shadowfell. It has innumerous undead in the city of Evernight. which Peter once told him was where the closest portal to the Shadowfell led. Mortals and living creatures were in danger within the city, subject to capture and enslavement, if not straight death, if they dared roam the streets without an undead patron.
We do got one of them.
Bishop's kind of like...
Fancy a little trip?
I don't think I have a choice if you're going to survive.
Yes, we really need to do this, so...
Sorry to ask this of you.
It's okay. I can go with you. Masquerade as your patron. Try and keep you alive.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, he tells you a little about Evernight. He doesn't know much about it, but he knows that a river of lava runs through the heart of it, spills into a lake on the other side known as the Dead Lake. At this point, Vanden pipes up. That's where Asriel wanted to meet,
Of course.
on the other side of the Dead Lake.
Why the other side?
I think something about not being able to get too close to the city itself.
Sure.
That's okay, we can do that.
At least we kind of know a way to get down all these caves and tunnels.
What do you mean?
Well, the vampires that came flooding out of Direwell's chambers had to have come from somewhere, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So if we just follow that way down, eventually Khaled's supposed to have come from Evernight?
Yeah, that's what Tabitha said.
Mm-hmm. Khaled's supposed to have come from Evernight, so...
It makes sense.
So that has to reach there somewhere, and if Peter thought there was a portal at the bottom,
then perhaps
it's his portal.
it's his portal. That also means if he's the one who gave Enoch the artifact in the first place, we may be running into him. I mean, we wanted to kill him anyway.
If we can just avoid that, maybe that's for the better.
Great, but if he confronts us, just make sure to have some holy water and some divine magic on you.
Well, we have that.
I was thinking,
Hmm.
maybe we leave it until the last possible moment, but we have that wine we got in Cassian. The Heroes Feast.
Mm.
It's, from what I understand, it'll be incredibly helpful to boost us for it.
How long does it last for?
24 hours, I think.
And then perhaps we drink it in the morning, or right before we walk into the Abbey.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good to me.
So what are we doing now then?
Sleeping.
Mm.
We all need to sleep.
We do. I want to get some air first.
Would you like some company? Or would you rather be alone?
I'd rather be alone.
Okay.
He gets up, heads out the door. As he does, Bishop forces his coat on him.
Wait.
And he disappears outside for a while.
Set up my little premium bedroll.
Set up my mediocre bedroll.
Right in front of the fireplace, like, yes.
Sits on the sofa.
You did something incredible today. I don't know the ins and outs of everything you've been through, but you stopped Enoch. Should hold on to that.
I still can't believe that we did that.
Sariel, what's a foretold?
She's quiet for a bit. Where I come from, things are set up a little differently from what I'm assuming other people are used to. We have a matriarchal society, so the women are in positions of power.
Mm.
Of course, we welcome men within the clan, but they don't hold any real sway over decision making and things like that. The head of our clan is called the Oracle. The Oracle that I knew, she's not with us anymore. But when you have an Oracle, you also have a Foretold. And the Foretold will one day take over as Oracle. A friend of mine, she was the Oracle's granddaughter. And when she was very young, the Oracle had a vision of her taking over the clan. And because of that, she was the Foretold.
Mm-hmm.
But she was killed. And so we were left drifting with no idea of what was going to happen.
And now it's you.
Can't be.
I mean, from an outside perspective, it very much sounds like something that would become of you.
She was trained for that role since she was a child. She knew exactly what she was going to be doing. She was born for it. You just knew by looking at her. She was like sunshine in a person.
I'm sorry she's gone.
I couldn't possibly think to follow in the path that she had forged.
Then make your own.
I'm not a leader. I never wanted to be a leader.
You need time to come to terms with what you've heard. It's a lot of pressure to know that there's people relying on you.
Yes.
But you've already come so far from the person we knew a few months ago. Think how much further you could go.
I don't know if I want to think about it right now.
Then don't. Sleep. See how you feel in the morning. There's pressing matters to attend to as always.
She's gonna get herself ready for bed. She's still got the blood all down her face.
Danica is still sleeping soundly in an armchair at this point
Oh,
through this whole conversation. Really tiny and curled up.
Sarah will go give her a kiss on the forehead before she gets into bed.
Vanden comes back in eventually. Dumps the rest of the empty bottle in the sink. Just
Son, that's moonshine.
what's the rest of that? I guess he doesn't have a bedroll now either.
I have a spare one.
You do? Okay. He will get out Astra's spare bedroll and just lay down near the fire and face away from everyone.
Things be heavy in here.
Whew,
Well.
sleepy time.
Cassian's gonna wish Astra good night,
Good night.
and then he's gonna go outside and sit somewhere outside and just stay awake for as long as he can, and then meditate for 4 hours and talk to no one in a sort of What the fuck? Why does everything happen to us?
You just found out why, dude.
Everything.
Why does that happen to us?
So, as you rest for the night, get your long rest,
Yes.
the three of you level up.
8.
Oh my god, level 8. Confirm, please.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Oh my god.
Mr. Deadboy does not, because he mostly just died.
F. Absolute F.
Buddy.
Is my Ring of Victorious casting renewed?
This is
I have 1 extra first level spell slot then.
Blessed.
Cassian, you're the first to sort of rouse out of your state of meditation, having not been asleep. Can you please make me a wisdom save?
I wish Cassian a very merry fuck you.
The feat I've taken has improved my wisdom score by 1. Dirty 20.
Dirty
Ooh,
20.
Again.
Nice. You
What the fuck?
rouse from that. Go sort of stand up, give it a stretch out, having sat there for 4 hours. And then you can head back inside.
No.
No?
He's just gonna stay outside for a while. In the brisk morning, but still dark air.
Oh, now he's dewy.
Doesn't know quite how to go back into that room.
Okay. For Astra and Sariel, you start waking up. Vanden's already up on his feet. He's sat at the table now, just reading through Fulgrim's notes. Through and through as much as he can. He's probably been up for like half an hour already.
Astra's gonna dig through his bag and pull out like his original shirt from when they first met, so it's just like at least something.
Thank you.
Saves you getting chilly. I've got the jacket still if you want that too. And a shield if you can use that, I don't know.
I can. My long sword should still be in your bag as well.
Yes.
So he will take that back and put it on a belt.
Sariel put some breakfast together with whatever rations there is.
Vanden eats 47% of it.
Here's your sandwich. And this one's mine. My sandwich.
Scientifically, ravens steal 47% of wolves' food. I'm just saying.
Sariel,
It's my fucking sandwich. I made you one.
I'm hungry, let's go.
I made you a sandwich. She will put some breakfast in front of him.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Fine. Big day ahead of us. Again. Is everybody else okay?
All things considered.
Yes, fine.
Great. Then, how do we want to do things today? We still have that iron key from Dial's chamber, right?
I'm just gonna see if I can find Cassian.
Right.
Just gonna poke my head out the door like,
Kidnapped again.
hello, Cassian?
Yes?
Are you coming back in? We're discussing how we're gonna do it today.
Oh, okay. I was just getting some air.
Okay, just don't want you to get kidnapped again.
No one's going to kidnap me, Astra.
No screaming.
Ah.
Come on.
I'll give it a little pause and then come back inside. Plan of action?
Yep.
So we have the iron key, you were saying?
From Dial's chambers. Then I can look at his hand missing the teleportation ring. It's like,
You'll need to get back on that.
thank you. Takes it back, puts it on. Then we can teleport straight back underground there. And I don't know about you, but I'm all for asking the Abbess to come straight outside and fight us.
I can ring the bell.
Good.
Got a suggestion? The spell that she used on us in the corridor. I think I can replicate it. And I think I can put her in a contained space. It might not work for an extended period, but she'll take a hit to start off with.
Vanden looks at you like he's got no idea what you're talking about. He sort of nods and's like, great.
You'll see.
I'll see. Okay. And then straight down.
Straight down.
Down that tunnel. Prepare ourselves to fight any number of those things. Who knows whether they're out in the world or back down there.
I mean, we don't know how many there are going to be, so let's try not to drain our reserves before we even get to the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
Is it still dark outside?
Yes. Still completely dark.
Right, well, no time like the present. Bishop?
He's sort of leaning in the doorway between his bedroom area and here, just like, yeah, I'm happy to come.
When we're going through the tunnels, do we want to collapse them? Stop any more things reaching the surface?
How can we say that we can get out, though?
And also they managed to dig their way through last time.
It was just a thought.
That's valid.
I think it's a good one.
We have all that dynamite.
Trap them down there, and there are only directions probably back into the Shadowfell portal.
Exactly.
I just read in Fulgrim's notes this morning that they only go one way.
So, regardless, the portal that we go in through, we'll have to find a different way out.
Yes.
Okay.
Could we get them to chase us in there?
Maybe.
Then collapse it?
I suppose it depends where it is. We don't know that yet.
No.
One step at a time.
Abbess first.
Abbess first.
Okay. Okay.
Is there anything else we want or need to do first? While I spend the rest of the hour tuning to the ring again.
I will catch Danica up on what we're doing.
She's like, okay, I might stay here
That's fine.
with Father Howe and the little girl. Okay, well, please be safe. Please come back.
We'll do our best.
All of you.
We will, don't worry.
You can stuff your faces with the remainder of ration breakfast and make sure your stuff is all in good condition. Get your armour on properly.
Yep.
Get
And
Vanden dressed.
Get Vanden in a shirt with a shield.
He can have the brown duster if he wants, but I figured.
He'll put it on.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. I lent you my coat back in the day. Sleeveless brown duster over white shirt and a shield. It'll do.
Oh, look. You're a bard now.
Just cosplaying Astra.
He looks down at himself, he's like, I'm pretty sure that's how I used to dress when I was like 12.
That's very rude.
Cassian actually laughs at that.
Okay. Let's go kill this bitch.
We'll lean forehead against Danica's before we go.
She looks very pleased.
Be safe.
You too.
Let's do this.
You can step out of the Raven House again and taking the iron key that you pinched out of Dywell's chambers, Vanden will cast teleport again, and in an instant the four of you and Bishop appear back in the darkened cavern underneath the Abbey where Dywell's rooms are.
Up then.
Straight up.
Keeping a very watchful eye and ear out for any sounds down here.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
That is a 23.
Nice. You hear some very faint sounds coming back from the tunnel that leads further in, but nothing that sounds like it's close or following you.
Okay, I think we're safe.
Let's do this quickly.
Up we go.
The five of you make your way straight up the slick stone steps again, all the way to the top. It hasn't been covered over again. The bright red moonlight is pouring down over the land, over the Abbey, as you emerge from it.
Okay, everyone get into the position that you want to be in, and I will ring the bell.
Okay.
You bring yourselves around the front of the Abbey, sort of stand in front of it by the bridge. Go on then.
Frickin' finger guns, Eldritch Blast at the big church bell, like
Ping pong!
like a little bit sort of pause between the two of them, so it's like bong, bong.
As you hit it, the force of the Eldritch Blast keeps it ringing. It swings back and forth. Bong, bong. Vanden raises his hands to his mouth and shouts, Abbess! Your plans have failed!
Come out and play!
Your town has fallen into ruin! Will you not come face the false prophet and the destruction that your worship has wrought?
Love this song.
Silence falls for a moment before the doors to the church open to reveal the abbess in her grey robe, her face stern and serious as she steps out, staff in hand. She's flanked by 2 daughters in white, veils removed but skin ethereal, clearly some of the higher daughters. She looks over the group of you in disgust. Let us fight then, false prophet. Let us show you how radiance will triumph, or let this be the end of us all. I would like you to roll initiative.
Oh fuck. Please. Oh my god. Great.
Astra.
13.
Cassian.
Natural 1.
Sariel.
Also natural 1, so 7.
Okay. Vanden got an 18.
Thank god.
And Bishop got 7.
Ah!
Cool.
Cool. We got some speedy nuns. They're nuns on the run!
Cassian, what do yours add up to?
3.
3. Okay. Just so I know where it goes in order.
Fuck us, I guess.
Fuck us, I guess. I love it. I love never rolling initiative.
Please.
The Abbess also got a natural 1. I just clicked auto roll. Abbess got a natural 1. The 2 sisters didn't, but oh my god.
Yes!
And she has an initiative bonus of 0, so she goes at the end of the round.
Things are back on the menu, boys!
Okay,
Looks like vengeance is best served cold.
We heated up in the
Of evil.
Vanden is up first. Bonus action, levying the shield in one hand and the longsword in the other. He looks at the Abbess and says, I mark you, my quarry.
Is it Hunter's Mark?
It's
Hunter's
Hunter's
Mark.
He is going to charge right up to her and swing the longsword twice.
No, I was going to do something!
Well, tough. Get higher in the initiative.
He's a melee fighter!
I don't have another choice. First attack strikes.
First attack.
Yes.
So that's a d8 because it's one-handed. Nice. That's fucking sweet. Oh my god. That's fucking easy. Okay, first attack strikes true right across her chest. Second attack also hits.
Yay.
Second attack.
Yes.
Glad we're going into this feral. Yeah.
I love when a fight is serious. Okay, strikes her twice across the chest with his longsword.
Nice.
The 2 daughters are up next. One of them is going to summon a spiritual weapon in front of Sariel.
Oh no. Hello, D4.
Blink, blink. So it's going to make a hit towards you with that. That is completely wrong. 12. Nope. The other one is going to cast a guiding bolt towards Astra. 15.
That's my AC, god damn it.
8. 14. You're going to take 18 points of radiant damage and you are lit up in radiant light.
As I should be.
It's your turn.
I am going to guiding bolt her right back to it.
Nice.
Battle of the bolts.
Ooh! 21.
21 definitely hits.
Ooh. 14. 16.
16. Okay.
Nice. Which one is she?
The one on that side, like close
The one
to you.
closest to us.
Yeah.
Okay. I will put that just for the moment.
Okay, nice, because she is
Advantage.
lit up.
Nice.
Nice. And then bonus action, I will just 8 temporary hit points, all 3 of you, and you can move your movement reaction speed if you'd like to without opportunity attacks, as Astra just starts playing his loop.
Okay.
Nice.
Vanden, knowing that you guys have spells to sling, will get back out of the way and move back towards the line of everybody.
Oh, fun. Okay. Should we not be in a big line?
Yeah, he'll put himself somewhere not in a straight line.
Cassian was running to flank with Vanden, but is just going to fucking swerve this way, seeing him not do that.
Sariel's gonna get out the way of this spiritual weapon and go like, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just go there for a minute.
Nice.
And there.
Astra's going to get on the big rock.
Astra likes to stand on things.
He likes to be tall.
You're already tall.
It's Brambleton.
It's Brambleton. Okay.
Where is Bramble?
All the way over
Bramble's
there.
over there.
Oh god.
Just so he crawls out of my jacket once more. He's going to go over to the Abbess, invisible, and try and breathe on her.
So she needs to make a save.
Yes. DC 11 wisdom saving throw, so probably.
Yeah, that's an 18.
Yeah, I was going to say probably will, but. And then we'll immediately book it.
Wherever. It's just
Yeah.
getting like that.
Just brambling.
Just brambling.
Okay. That makes it Bishop's turn.
Come on, Bishop, what can you do?
Fishy boy.
He is going to move so he's got a straight shot at one of the daughters, probably the one next to the Abbess.
Who's going in front of Bramble?
And he's going to take 2 crossbow shots
Ooh.
with his heavy arm crossbow.
Is it an automatic crossbow?
It's an automatic crossbow.
Nice.
He has a repeating crossbow. He can do 10 shots before he has to reload.
Beautiful.
So 2 of those.
Very powerful.
Oh, one's a crit!
Oh!
And the other one still hits.
Nice.
So D8 on each plus a D6. So the first one is, oh my god, 6, so 12 plus 8, 20, 24 on the crit.
Christ.
Fuck yeah.
And a further 13 on the other one.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Amazing.
So 24, 13. Okay, he just steps around you all and fires off 2 crossbow bolts. They hit the daughter dead in the chest.
She's still up.
She's just about still up.
Okay.
You see that she's sort of weakly sort of like trying to pull them out. No! Sariel, you have only an action or a bonus action.
Oh yeah.
For this turn only.
Woosp.
Love a natural one.
Love a natural 1. Okay. So they are in a, how big is that? Like a 20-foot.
They're all within like 15 feet of each other.
Yeah. So 6 foot. Oh. 25. Okay. She's gonna make a sort of 20-foot, like. She's gonna hold out her staff, and a 20-foot diameter circle is gonna trace itself into the ground around them. And then spring upwards with white flames as she casts a wall of fire.
Woo!
Can they all make dex saves?
Okay.
Give her a taste of our own medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So the sister that is currently advantaged from Astra's Guiding Bolt, that's a 7.
Cool.
The next one is a 4.
Cool.
And the Abbess is, do you have different stats? A 6.
Nice! So they take 5d8 of fire damage.
Oh, sexy.
Very sexy.
Oh, that's a bit of a crummy roll, but... so 10. So 20 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
So they are encased in this sort of sphere of fire. On the inside of the sphere, it'll deal 5d8 fire damage to each creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of that side, or inside the wall itself.
The creature takes the same damage when it enters the wall for the first time on a turn or ends its turn there. And I think it says something about like moving through the fire as well does the same thing.
Oof. Tasty, tasty.
I guess they're all on the inside.
Yeah.
So to get out, they do have to pass through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they will take it to
Okay.
pass through. Or to stay inside, so.
So, yeah,
Okay.
if they try to leave, they will
How much damage do they take?
20 points of fire damage.
Nice, nice, nice.
Okay, the one that Bishop shot with the crossbow, dead.
Oh!
The other one
I thought
looks...
it was the other one.
It's the other one, yeah.
Because he didn't roll with advantage.
Like,
The other one looks extremely weak. The Abbess just stares at you through the fire. Cassian.
So I also only have an action or a bonus action.
Yes.
Okay. And we can see through this wall of fire?
Yeah, you can see through it.
Okay, cool. He's gonna fire an Eldritch Blast at each of them, the one with advantage first.
Okay.
At the sister.
Uh-oh, sister.
Okay. 16 to hit?
Yeah. that
Okay.
hits.
For
Ooh.
12 points of force damage.
She's down.
Excellent, excellent. And the straight roll at the Abbess is a 17
That hits.
for 9 points of force damage.
Nice. Okay. Both daughters just drop to the floor. Something passes across the Abbess's face behind the flames that looks a little bit concerned about that, but
Good. Be concerned.
she is simply going to move out of the fire. She will obviously take the fire damage as well.
Yep, she needs to make another dex save.
6.
Better. 10, 12, so 22, 29 points of fire damage.
29 points of fire damage. Okay.
What direction would you like her to move in? She can sort of go to the side, towards Vanden, or...
She will move towards Vanden.
Hello.
How many of you can she get in a 60-foot cone?
All of us?
All of you?
Yeah.
Can everybody please make me a Constitution saving throw as she
no.
reaches up and starts moving her hands to cast a spell?
18.
13.
Natural 1.
Oh, wow.
What's your con save, Bishop?
So sight with that dice.
No, it's my Cassian dice. Don't be mean to him.
Did you roll it for initiative?
No, it was that one.
Oh, okay.
I rolled the grey one for initiative.
Sorry, so Astra?
18.
Natural 1.
13.
Do better. So, Sariel, Cassian, Bishop, you will all take full damage as she casts Cone of Cold.
Uh-oh. When the dungeon master has to get more dice. Illegal.
It does feel quite illegal when I have to reach for more dice.
Things that are illegal but aren't.
Your hair.
It's not my fault I have such luscious, thick, beautiful locks. They get everywhere. Oh, those sisters is 38.
Cassian, Sariel, and Bishop will take 43 points of cold damage, and everybody else takes half.
22.
21.
21. That is her turn. Back at the top of the round, Vanden. Oh, fuming as he watches his friends take so much damage, just going to charge straight back up to her.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he needs to make a con check on his
Oh yeah, concentration.
concentration check.
Bug.
Guess I do as well. No.
Absolutely not.
I mean, the wall's done its work, so...
So his would have been 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you make it?
Yeah, he made it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
He's constitute.
He charges up to her and he's like, not my friends. First attack hits.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Second attack hits.
Nice.
And in rage, he's going to freaking action surge.
Yes,
Ooh.
buddy.
Okay. As he finishes striking at her, she looks pretty rough.
Yes. Nice.
The priest is down. Astra.
Oh fuck.
Astra, it's your turn.
Okay. The bonus action mass healing word. No, I'm not. I'm gonna guiding bolt her at
Okay.
3rd level. And I'm gonna use my 17?
17 hits.
Excellent. I'll keep that. My shiny inspiration. So 66.
Mm-hmm.
20.
20, okay. An eruption of radiant light comes flying out of Astra's hands and strikes her again, illuminating her. She's still up.
Okay. Yes. See if Bramble gets his thing back. Nope. No breath for Bramble. And that's my move.
Okay. Bishop is going to fire a couple of bolts at her.
At advantage.
First one at advantage. Oh yeah. Well, the first one hits.
Nice.
Nice. And the second one, 3. Second one flies wide. Sariel, it's your turn.
Gonna run up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't quite flank with Vanden, but I will get in close
Mm-hmm.
and try and claw her across the throat. Please. Ugh. 15?
15 doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
Boo!
Okay, she swerves as you come tearing in.
Mm-hmm.
You see just a blank, cold expression on her face.
Damn it.
Cassian.
Super flank.
I can flank with Vanden.
Nice.
So I'm going to run up. And he's going to cast Booming Blade on his sword. And swing for a hit. In just white hot rage.
I'm just swarming this woman.
30-20.
Dirty 20 hits.
9 slashing and 7 thunder.
You have the floor.
Oh boy!
In much the same way as he dispatched the sister last night, just runs up to her surrounded, grips her shoulder, and just across the throat, and lets her sink down.
She drops to her knees, limp, and you can just let go of her body.
Stun.
Well done, everyone.
Right, inside.
Mm-hmm. Is there like any side building or just somewhere that's hidden at all, just so we can put the bodies to not cause a massive panic?
There is the almondry.
I'll just search her pockets and see if she has anything of interest. She might.
You pat her down and you find the 2 key halves for the inner sanctum.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
We need those.
Yeah.
That would have been really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Vanden can pick these bodies up. Bishop will help and drag them over to the almondry and just stick them inside the storage room for now. Vanden gives Cassian a look that's a little wary.
Looks shocked and sad.
You okay, Astra?
Yes.
Let's get inside and find my things.
Yes.
Are we going about this stealthily, or are we just marching our way in?
I don't care anymore.
No.
He just shoves the doors open. You see that the church itself is still in the state that it was last night. Still wires hung up from the 2 pillars either side of the altar. There's still blood on the floor. And the cup that was knocked out of Percival's hand. You keep moving through this space.
Don't pay any mind, just I'm looking away.
Keep moving towards the cloister, past the vestry. And moving around this outside area. As you pass the staircase going up to the Sun's dormitories, you do still hear some noise up there. There must still be people hiding up there. But you can move straight through the doors towards the inner sanctum, through the ward of Dispel Magic.
Well, to the Abbess's chambers
Abbess's
first to
chambers
get
first.
things.
Okay. You can move into there. Her room is locked, but not caring much at this point, you can just beat the door open. Bishop is waiting outside because he cannot enter the temple still.
Even if we open the door and go, come on,
We invite you. He walks up to the door and he's like, no, apparently I can't. Has to turn around.
There's a Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah. You can beat the door down to the abbess's room, and you see that Vanden's belongings are strewn around inside as if she was going through them.
Awful.
Naughty.
Make sure everything's accounted for.
Yeah.
He gathers them up again, fixes his greatsword back to his sort of shoulder holster, and puts his armour back on. That feels a bit better.
Good.
Let's get this artifact.
Before we do, quickly, if we're passing the infirmary and just quickly checking to make sure no one's in there, can we see if there's any healing potions or anything?
Okay, you take a turn away from the inner sanctum instead then, and head down the corridor to the hall and the infirmary, two places you didn't visit before. You can check, but there's nobody in there.
Cool. Let's go get some heals because that was brutal.
that was.
Okay. If you're searching the infirmary, make me an investigation check.
Oh my god! 5!
10.
5. I'll say I'm standing outside just looking.
I'm standing inside just looking, apparently.
Okay. You find not much in the way of magical healing in here. There's pouches of bandages, there's herbs, there's healer's kits. Vanden turns up one regular potion of healing, and is like, who needs this the most?
I don't have a single potion on me, but
You take it then.
Take it.
sure.
If we need to rest, we need to rest.
Maybe
Sorry, go ahead.
maybe after we've retrieved the artifacts, but before we head down.
Okay. You can head back out of this area and back towards the inner sanctum. The abbey is quiet and desolate. I think anyone who's still alive is hiding now. You can move back in and place the pieces into the puzzle door again and unlock it a second time. You pass through into the corridor where you fought yesterday. You can see the wall of force has now dropped, but you see the burnt floor from the abbess's fire spell. You see the smashed gate and this celestial machine inside, which is still whirring slightly, but it doesn't seem to be moving anymore. Like it's sort of reached its end of whatever it was programmed to do.
Like an egg timer.
Like an egg timer.
Celestial egg timer.
It's done its little ding.
Yeah. We'll make our way through, climb back through the
Busted
gate.
door. And you see this room once more with the prophecy laid out on the floor. And this machine. Fanny moves up to it and sort of peers at the light inside.
I've got a feeling you're probably going to be the only one that can take this.
Well, I don't want to go blind either.
No, but you've got celestial blood in you.
And if you do, I can fix that.
Okay. I guess let's get this thing open and shield your eyes.
Okay.
He sort of drives the end of the longsword in and starts trying to crack the machine open. It doesn't take too long to pry the metal away. And he reaches in and feels around and pulls out the strength of Azrael, which as he pulls it away, you see is now throbbing with this golden light. It's the same as the sketch that you saw with 7 gold rings encircling it, sort of mimicking the 7 gold rings of the machine. But Vanden just folds them up and reaches into the centre of that and pulls out another piece. And instantly the glow just dims down. And you see that you're looking at a single feather of black tipped in copper, encased in some sort of amber.
It's beautiful.
All this over a feather.
Seems silly, doesn't it?
We didn't get a chance to talk yesterday about what we saw.
Do we have time?
Well, we're going to have to stop to get some strength back. Sariel and I aren't exactly on our best legs right now, neither's Bishop.
Okay.
We should get back to him. I don't want to leave him outside.
Mm-hmm.
But we should find somewhere to rest. Even down there in Dival's chamber with the gate.
Mm.
Guess I'll pocket this. He tucks it away into a belt pouch. Okay. Let's head back out.
Yes.
You pass back out of the inner sanctum, back out of the cloister. And as you pass back towards the church area, you see someone coming down the stairs. It's Credence.
Oh.
He sees the four of you, and you see that his face is quickly aging. It's rapidly withering, wrinkles forming, and his hair completely greying. He doesn't seem to have realised yet. The four of you. You're okay.
Hello, my friend.
Hello.
Are you alright?
It's not over yet. I just wanted to come and see what all the ruckus was.
Stay safe inside the church.
I will. And all of you, my friends.
Glad that you're alive, Credence.
We are protected. You see, he slows down in his aging as a very old man, maybe in his 90s. And he turns to sort of start heading back up the stairs, and you see that he struggles a bit.
Why don't you stay down here for a little bit? Just take a seat.
Yes, I think that would be a
Gonna
very good plan.
Offer a hand and help him to sit on one of the
Mhm.
pews.
You take him through.
Just kneel.
He sits. Suddenly feeling my age.
It suits you. Growing old. It's a natural part of life, isn't it?
Oh, well, I'm sure we'd all avoid if we could. I think I might rest here for a while. You're right.
Stay safe.
I'm very happy I met all of you.
Happy I met you too.
You see he sits there, he puts his hands together and just leans forward onto the next pew, sort of quietly praying with his thoughts.
I'm glad he's okay.
You leave credence to it, wondering whether you will see him again at any point now. You step back outside the abbey where Bishop is waiting. He's standing at the edge of the cliff looking down at the river of blood and then over at the town. A bit dramatic, isn't it?
I mean, the river of blood might be a bit much.
And that gestures up at the bright red moon. So sort of a slither of it has gone pale again now.
A little bit dramatic too, yes.
Let's go sit down somewhere.
That's
You're heading into Dival's chambers again.
Yeah.
You descend down the passage behind the almond room once more, back into the darkened central room of Dival's chambers, where you can stop and rest.
I will play my bardic song
Song.
of rest.
Oh.
Ever fucking.
It's in features and traits.
Oh, thank you. I can never fucking. God damn it! There it is. So you all get to spend an extra
Hit dice.
d6 of hit die.
Okay. Nice. As Astra sits back and just starts strumming.
Just completely lost in thought.
I guess Bishop will roll some of his 17 hit dice.
Bishop!
17? He's a vampire.
Oh, what? Oh, nice.
I suppose as we're sat there then, Cassian will sort of look towards the three of you and say, so, The vision, then.
The vision.
It's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
I feel like we should come up with a name or something so it's not just the vision. It's kind of a heavy way to start this conversation.
It was kind of a heavy vision.
I mean, it was a prophecy.
I know.
Somehow I feel like we all had an inkling. Something huge was on its way.
Mm.
Our dreams, your message from Leah.
I didn't think it would be sort of world scale kind of big.
And that it would end up being on the four of us' shoulders.
Not just ours though.
Oh.
But that's if we can gather other allies.
We have a goal here.
We've been making a start already, I suppose.
Although unifying the city-states is something that's never happened in history.
Hopefully a little bit of world-ending threat will give them the right to kick up their asses.
I hope so. It's fine, I'm sure it's nothing we can't handle, right?
We just have to keep getting better at this.
Just feels crazy that it was less than a fortnight ago that we were saying, oh, there's nothing we can't handle together. And that this now seems so much bigger than us.
Yes. I do find it quite ironic that, having believed for so much of my life that I was so important for doing absolutely nothing at all, and then finally coming to terms with that not being the case, Destiny has decided to go, actually, you know what? Fate of the world. You and your friends.
Never should have left Miratel.
Never should have left Miratel. Glad that I did.
Because I've just been burdened over and over again in my life with purposes. This doesn't really feel any different. It feels heavier.
I don't like the way you repeated those words last night. That this was your only purpose. It can be a purpose, but it doesn't have to be who you are or anything.
Well, the message was quite clear.
We have a responsibility, and I think we need to do whatever we can, but we can still be ourselves. No offense, I feel like I'm watching the three of you fall apart around me right now.
There's a lot going on.
I know. I'm not expecting any of you to pick yourselves together anytime soon, but it's hard.
I don't feel like I'm falling apart at all. This is the most sure of myself I've ever been.
That's good to hear.
I'm not sure we can say the same of you, Astra.
I'm fine. Still just playing his lute, just...
Would have been a little bit awkward if we'd parted ways and watched us respite.
Would really, wouldn't it?
I probably still would have ended up here. And I wouldn't have the three of you to save me. We've talked about burden quite a lot. I feel like there's quite a lot of pressure being my friend.
No. Absolutely not.
No, there isn't.
Regardless of everything that's happening around us, you're You're the people that you are, and you're important as you are. It's no one's fault, or no one's the cause of any of this happening. We're just dealing with it together as it comes. I don't feel like my life is heavier for having met any of you. It has been improved vastly. There's just a lot of at stake beyond our control.
I suppose all we really can do is deal with what we do have control over as it happens.
And always be prepared. Next time we come across, you're right, we need to buy supplies.
Yeah.
For climbing and all sorts of nonsense.
Rope. Lockpicks.
I'm sick of breaking things open with letter openers.
Do that one time and you're tired of it.
3 times, actually.
Served us pretty well.
Oh, yes. Got the little trinket. That's it.
I need to train more. And hopefully we'll make it through this. The fell.
We will.
The 3 of you inspire me.
You inspire me.
Better than I could ever hope to be.
Don't say
With
that.
none of the training.
Don't even start that.
You won't win that argument.
I'm glad you told me what was coming. Otherwise, I'm not really sure how I would have coped with that.
Thank you for saying that.
I know you're still here, but it still feels bizarre to think about what I did last night.
I'm sure. Doesn't exactly feel ordinary to have been dead yesterday.
No. Sorry it left such a mark.
But come on. We've got a different plane of existence to get to.
I'm excited to meet your father.
Don't even, that's something I cannot wrap my head around right now. I've had too many emotions about fathers this year already.
Relatable.
Love this song.
First he's missing, and then he's dead, and then he's cruel, and now he's someone else entirely. So let's just go and
Unpack that later.
maybe kill some bloodless bastards on the way.
Do we want to have a quick drink before we go?
Yes.
I'm never going to say no to that.
Sariel just wine pushing at any.
I don't know whose inventory it's in, but
Someone has the Hero's Feast
I'll
wine.
take out the hero's nectar.
I don't know. I don't think I've got it.
Yeah, because you bought it, or you got it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did I? I can't remember things.
You can get out the hero's nectar. Yes. Essentially, drinking a glass each between the 4 of you, and take 10 minutes to drink it.
Oh, Jesus.
And
the
you are now
Dawnbringers.
24 hours under the effects of Hero's Feast.
God.
You gain several benefits. You're cured of all diseases and poisons. You're now immune to poison and being frightened.
Ooh.
And you make all whiz saves with advantage. Your hit point maximum increases by 2d10.
Oh, Jesus.
I will roll it and make it the same for everybody.
Okay.
So we're now immune to being frightened,
And poisoned.
poisoned.
Okay. Everybody's hit point maximum increases by 14 for
Ooh,
24
nice.
hours. So you pour out this wine and you drink it as you sit there and you rest
To the Dawnbringers.
to the Dawnbringers.
Dawnbringers.
You drink it down and you feel imbued with heroism.
Astra,
Yes.
do you remember that potion you got back in Valathra? From the fountain?
Oh, yes. The lychee one.
Yes. Would you mind if I took that?
Sure. Open it up, pass it over. You got a flavour for leeches.
No, I just think it could be useful.
I'm just kidding.
I absolutely do not have a flavour for leeches. I never want to do that again. Wasn't funny.
Kind of was a little bit.
Well,
It wasn't funny until you were fine, but then it was kind of funny.
will you swallow a leech next time then?
No.
The joke's been done.
It's been done. You've done it already. Wouldn't be as funny a second time.
I'll put worms in your breakfast.
It's a waste of worms.
Is there any other potions we want to swap around?
Sorry, like, come on, children.
I have a single greater healing potion left in my inventory.
I have one regular, one greater.
You have those mysterious potions you got from the carnival.
Well, I don't think we have time to take those now and find out.
Oh, I still have the sage that makes the vampires less likely to approach you.
That's useful.
Vanden just gestures to Bishop, who's just sat in the corner, just checking over his crossbow.
Well, if we get swarmed by a bunch of them, Bishop can still follow us.
At a distance.
At a distance.
Bishop, we have this sage, and it might repulse you if we burn it, supposedly. He's like,
He doesn't care.
okay. Yes, worth keeping on you.
As a last-ditch effort.
What are you looking at?
Blightacre.
Oh.
Because you'll become poisoned for 1d6 hours, but we're currently immune to poison.
It's true.
What's that one, sorry?
Advantage on intelligence and wisdom checks, as well as vulnerability to psychic damage.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's tasty.
I mean, yeah, that'll be like advantage on like perceptions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
How long does it last?
An hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, worth considering.
Mm.
Some sort of potion of superior power or supreme power or something.
Maximum power.
Maximum power.
Maximum power.
Maximum power.
Perhaps save that for if we encounter Khalid.
That's what I was thinking.
Just as soon as he approaches, if he seems hostile, just drink it.
Sure. Everyone happy with me taking it?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, Ash is going to pull out a glass bottle from his bag, shrug, and just open it to summon the river runner back into it.
It takes a moment because of the distance, but you see the river runner just coalescing inside the lyra bird coalescing inside the bottle.
Imagine if somebody stole it.
We could probably find out. They might have left things on there.
They're just in the chase right now.
They're in the blood red chased. That's funny.
It serves them right. And I figured everything's a bit fucked up now anyway, so who's going to blink at a boat disappearing? Just nice to have it back.
Okay, shall we get going? Is everyone ready?
Down the tunnels. Am I dumb?
Hey yo, Dungeons and Dragons check.
It's TNT! TNT Beyond! Yeah, TNT! TNT
Imbued with courage from the hero's nectar, you stand up again and start making your way further down the tunnel leading out of Dimorph's chambers, back past the iron gate, now busted open by the bloodless. As you make your way onwards, the tunnel is unremarkable, a cold, dank space that descends in a slow decline for a few hundred feet into blackness. Before, as you reach the end of it, it drops suddenly into a pit. Glancing into the pit, it descends into the blackness beyond where you can see. The pit's about 20 foot across in each direction. Suspended 15 foot above it is a metal cage on a winch.
Oh.
The cage has a door which faces your way. The winch cable leads to a mechanism for lowering and raising the cage, built into the tunnel wall beside you.
Oh. Back to where we started. Ah. Nice to see you.
It's a different kind of cage. It's not
Different kind of cage?
Yeah, not the same one. It's
Okay.
just a cage.
Is there anything in the cage?
Nothing in the cage.
Weird.
Press the winch to bring it down to our level.
If you want to winch it down, maybe a strength check.
Oh fuck. 3.
Okay.
Stuck.
You sort of tug on it, it's stuck, it's annoying, and then you winch it the other way, and it just drops down. It's not all the way down, it's just hanging in front of sort of where you are, rocking backwards and forwards slightly.
It was stuck. It was.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
How far down do you think it goes?
Down.
I can get a rough guess. Dancing light.
You send the dancing light down, and it gets 120 feet, and the tunnel goes further.
Well, it's further than 120 feet.
So we're not climbing down that with ropes.
So 20 foot from one side to the other?
Yeah,
Is there something on the other side?
end of the line. Bishop sort of peers over the edge and is like, I guess you're probably taking the lift.
I suppose we are.
Can you climb?
Great.
I can walk on the walls, yeah.
Great. If you wouldn't mind doing the winchy bit.
Sure.
The winchy bit.
And it sort of moves up to the cage at the edge and grabs onto the door bit. You can see it doesn't look like it's intended to be a lift.
Mm-hmm.
More maybe a trap.
Mm.
He tugs at the door and sort of pulls it open. There's a loud metal creaking and it stays like sturdily open.
How many can fit in there at once?
Probably all 4 of you.
Okay. Do we want to go all in at once, or do we want to go in pairs?
I feel like that'll take a long time.
Then let's just get in.
Yes.
Okay. Who wants to climb in first?
Out of the way. He just pushes in, carefully steps inside.
As you step inside, your weight pulls the cage down a little and the door springs shut violently.
Cool.
It rocks a little bit. You note that the inside of it has slick with blood, but it looks like it's been painted there.
His trap is. Are there, like, anything else on the inside? Are there, like, spikes coming in or anything? Okay, cool.
It was just to catch vampires for experiments.
Yeah.
And it reaches forward again, wrenches the door back open.
Hello.
Ah, fun.
Okay.
I'll go next.
He's gonna try and hold the door open as you climb in. Oh, good. You climb in and he has to let go as it just springs closed again. You see the thing creak slightly as it sways with the two of you on the inside.
Tail wraps around one of the bars.
Sariel?
Should we climb on top of it, or...?
Do you think that's safer?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
This whole thing seems very unsafe.
We'll be fine, I'm sure. Okay. Wrenches it open again. Sariel, your carriage.
Very tentatively climb in.
Put a hand out for you.
Reach for it slowly.
He holds the door just open this time. It shuts again, but it doesn't spring back so much that it shakes the cage.
Room for a little one.
Wrenches it out one more time. Okay.
Come on in.
Steps inside, closes his eyes as the door slams a fourth time.
Do the honours, Bishop.
Mm.
Man, a few words.
He is going to make a strength check to operate this.
Oh, please be strong. Please.
Where's your stats, Mr. Bishop?
Mr. Van Helsing, please.
I mean, he's good on the strength.
How good?
Is it good enough?
He has strong crossbow arms.
He does have strong crossbow arms. Okay, you're each going to take
Oh no.
2 points of bludgeoning damage as the cage drops heavily. You hear him shout down, "Winch is stuck!" It drops heavily down the tunnel and then jerks, slams you against the metal bars. It's okay. Sort of starts to winch it slowly from there, and creaking, it begins to descend into the blackness. You continue downwards that way.
Quite silently.
I wish we had elevator music.
Astra starts playing some elevator music to alleviate the tensions.
Do we put a light on or not?
It said that if we want to go through this portal, we have to do so in pitch black.
But we don't know where it is yet, so we might as well have a light now.
Yes, but any bloodless in the area are going to be attracted to a source of light.
I'm also playing music that'll be attracted to anything.
There's also blood all over the floor in here.
Katelyn just lights up his glove. As you look down, as it's getting lowered, you can see at the bottom there's water. It looks like there's also another tunnel opening down there at the bottom, next to the water. However, as you go further and further down, you hear ping, ping,
Fuck off.
as the wire holding up the cage starts to fray.
Bishop, a little faster.
Going as fast as I can. Stupid thing. He winches it all the way down. You don't drop until you're a few feet above the water, and then the wire snaps entirely, and the cage just hits the water and starts to sink.
Forcing
okay, get the door open.
Forcing the door.
Oh, wait, I will make a strength check at advantage as we all try and force it open. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Eldritch Blast to just smash it.
Sure, roll damage.
It's been serving me well as of late. 11, 19.
Okay. From the back of the cage, as we all try and force the door open, as the water's coming up to your knees, Cassian just lets off an Eldritch Blast that blows the door off. Can everybody please make me an athletics check, or athletics or acrobatics check to get out safely?
14.
Yeah, 14.
19.
Okay. All of you sort of push forward through the opening that the Eldritch Blast has made and claw your way out of the water up onto the bit of stone that leads into the next tunnel as the cage just sinks under the surface and keeps going.
Is Vanden getting out?
Vanden's out.
Okay, cool. Now that we're out, is it water or is it blood?
It's murky, but it's not blood. It's also not flowing anywhere, it's just a stagnant pool of water.
Prestidigitation clean.
Mm-hmm.
We're fine. You can come down.
Good. And you hear Bishop's voice and you don't see anything for a while, but after about a minute, you see him just walking on the wall down towards you.
Very cool.
And he jumps, grabs the end of the fraying cord and swings over to the stone that you're standing on.
Fun trick.
Perks of immortality.
Well,
Is everyone okay?
more or less.
Great.
Let's see where we're going.
Okay. You see ahead of you a single opening that leads into another pitch black tunnel, uneven and rough, extending onwards into the dark, curving away from you. Stalactites hang from the roof of this cave, stalagmites jutting upwards from the ground, so that the path ahead resembles thousands of teeth leading down into the throat of a monster. The craggy walls drip with moisture, and a mist hangs low to the ground, hiding any potential trip hazards on the stony floor. It's darker than the eclipse-stricken sky of Sable, and the crunch of your footsteps echoes traitorously in the depth ahead of you, as you start traversing down this dark passageway.
Do you want me to hide us?
No, save your spells.
Okay.
And we don't know when we'll get to rest again.
Just take it slowly then.
Throw up some dancing lights so we've got more light in the passageways.
Okay.
Is it like wide enough for us to go like 2 or 3 astride, or do we need to go single file?
You can go about 2 astride, but every now and then there'll be stalagmites that you have to slip into single file around. It sort of winds back and forth between them, some of them broken. And you continue to traverse down this tunnel quietly for what feels like an hour before you come into a broader room. It's cavernous and it stinks of ammonia. Approaching closer, in the dancing lights, you can see that the walls are coated in dried bat droppings, dribbling down like wax and pooling on the floor. The flutter of wings above you is nearly silent, but looking up in light, you can see hundreds of bats hanging from the ceiling of the area. A scattering of humanoid bones pile around the edges of this space, perhaps dumped here for the bats to feed off when they were no longer needed. 4 tunnels lead off the area ahead of you.
Which one looks the most worn?
Make an investigation check.
Not survival.
Investigation in this case.
18.
18.
No, wait, 14. I was reading my intimidation then for some reason.
Make an intimidation check on the tunnels. Which
Tell me.
one of you? Okay. You have a look over the 4 tunnels. They're sort of all straight ahead of you rather than off in random directions. On the far left, a narrow, craggy entrance would need to be slid through. It's slicked with water and slimy plant life. Beyond the crag, the air smells cleaner in here. The next one along is a wider tunnel entrance into a gloomy, low-ceiling passage that hangs so low in places that you think you'd have to duck. The third one is a tall and thin tunnel that the broadest of you could just about stand in, shoulders pressing wall to wall. The stone is rough and sharp to the touch and bites at your skin as you sort of brush your hands against it. And finally, the 4th one on the far right, a small tunnel entrance branching into a narrow passage beyond. You think you see a few footprints. The air in here feels greasy and smells foul.
Ew.
It quickly turns out of view. The tunnel.
Specifically looking for tracks.
The last one had tracks in it.
The last one had tracks. Is that the only one that did, or?
It's the only one that you think you could see footprints in, yeah.
The greasy one.
But you do know that the blood is moved on the walls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, so this one down here has got tracks going down it. It smells a bit musty. The one at the other end's got, this smells a bit of fresh air almost. don't know what we're looking for to go.
Well, fresher air would suggest leading further towards the surface, surely.
Whereas we want deeper down.
So probably this one with some footsteps in.
I can try it.
So otherwise it's these two, but this one's quite sharp and I don't want us to get hurt looking just to, you know, try and figure out what's down there.
We can always come back here.
Maybe it's the wrong way.
Let's try the fourth one then.
Okay. You make your way down the fourth tunnel on the far right. The tunnel is barren. It seems to stretch into endless dark. It continues on straight for a while after you've turned the first corner, before branching into a wider tunnel that splits in two directions. Sariel, I'd say you pick this up first. The faint smell of something canine lingers in the air.
Dogs. Something canine at least.
In any particular direction or in both?
Make a perception check.
15.
15. You can sort of move up and down both directions a little bit. It looks like they come from the right side of the next passage, the smell.
This right side is where the dog's coming from.
Should we take the left?
Probably better had.
Right, we'll do that then.
You hand it left.
Does it feel like the floor's at a slope as well?
It feels like it's going kind of up and down all over the place. As you move on, everybody make me a stealth check.
Oh no.
21.
11.
9.
As you move forwards, Sariel in the dark, sort of looking ahead, trying to move carefully, your foot just catches on a rock and sends it flying. It rolls forward and bounces off the walls noisily. You still for a moment, waiting to see if anything happens. And then you hear a deep, deep growling sound from behind you.
DC 14 wisdom saving throw. Or DC 11 is it? I think it's 11 for Bramble.
DC 11 wisdom save.
Yeah.
8.
Nice.
Cool. Roll a D6 for me then.
6.
It doesn't move. And the only thing it can do is make another save at the end of its turn.
In 6 seconds time. Okay.
Quick, move.
Turn around, look over his shoulders to see if we can see what it is.
It looks like a very large wolf, which is just frozen momentarily as Bramble has breathed onto it. Are you moving?
Yes.
Okay.
Speed.
You start speeding down the tunnel. It will make another whiz save in 6 seconds time. Lower. 1.
A 1, so it takes no action or bonus action, uses all of its movement to move in a random direction.
Okay. It just turns around and runs back up the tunnel. Okay. You start moving quickly down the tunnel away from it. As you do, you wind backwards and forwards across the path, committing to this direction now after that. Can somebody roll me a d8?
6.
6, okay. You stumble out into another slightly more cavernous space, and Cassian, you look ahead and you swear you see the rock formed in the shape of a raven's head. It looks like it's hanging over the next tunnel, the beak coming down towards the bottom of the tunnel mouth.
Points out to everyone.
Nobody else sees this.
What?
And the more you try to point it out, the less clear it looks.
It's a raven-shaped rock.
Is it?
Well, it's pointy, but
I can't see it.
I wouldn't say raven.
Now you're looking at it properly. It just looks like a stalactite sticking down. Maybe the shadows caught on it weird. But you swear you were looking at a raven skull.
Weird. Well, I don't know if it's just the Dark Plane tricks, but if we're going to the Raven Queen's domain, follow the sign.
We can try.
Sure, yes, we'll say that one.
Take your word for it.
We'll whisper to Astra.
I really don't see it, do you?
No, I really don't. Maybe if you No, it kind of looks like an old man now, actually.
As you continue on into the next tunnel. Okay. As you do, you find your quiet conversation starts echoing ahead of you, strangely. It feels like your words are being spoken back to you from somewhere in the dark.
You?
You go quiet. It goes quiet.
That's how echoes usually work.
That was weird, but let's just keep moving. After a few moments, Vanden's voice echoes back.
I've never heard echoes like that before.
Your voice echoes back again, like a few beats after you've spoken.
If we stay quiet for a hot sec, can I hear any breathing that's not our own?
Make a perception check.
I have slightly better perception now. That's very exciting. 16.
16. You stop and you try to stay perfectly still until you're aware even of your friends breathing around you. It does feel like there's something else, but then is that just your friends? You can't discern which direction it comes from.
So Liz is fucking with us. Let's just move faster.
Sure.
You keep going through the tunnels. You wind back and forth. You have to pick between different forks of them over and over again with no real signs. But as you do move, you see no signs either of bloodless.
I don't like that.
You find yourself walking down a particularly damp passage. And you edge further along it, wondering why it's getting so damp in here. And suddenly the ground starts to slip away from underneath you. Can everybody make me a dex save?
17.
14.
It's a natural 1.
Oh, buddy.
6.
Your turn on the natural one.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It was when the floor was falling out underneath you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, because you rolled a 6, Astra, you fall into the hole as the sinkhole appears.
Every time. Just destined to be tieflings in holes.
Tiefling in the whole fold today.
You're going to take 11 bludgeoning damage
Ow.
as you fall 25 foot into a sinkhole.
Ooh.
You find the wet earth and mud and stone sort of sucking you downwards. And it's up to your waist, holding you down there.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this.
Astra?
Get a rope down there.
Rope.
Have I got all the ropes?
I've got rope!
The bishop just walks over the edge of the hole and straight down into it.
Or that.
He just takes the end of the rope and takes your hand and wraps it around you, tugs it,
Pull it out.
and then with assistance will walk you back up the wall. Got a
Thanks.
little something on yourself there.
Appears so.
You okay?
Yes.
You feel it sort of scraped all up your sides where you've been dragged down in the earth.
Oh,
Bad.
awful.
Prestidigitation. Quietly.
You're lifting all the dirt out, but where it's really slimy and sludgy, you notice it seems to have stained until you can wash properly.
Ew.
It's fine. We have the clean stone.
Back at Bishops, you
Back
can...
at Bishops, we have the clean stone.
Putting that in my bag and I don't care.
It's very large.
Okay.
He doesn't need it anymore.
He can't wash without it.
He can't sweat either.
Let's go.
Eventually, this tunnel begins to widen, becoming another cavern. The ceiling in this space is more than 80 foot up. The stone chamber is mostly featureless, but for two things. At the back of it, away from where you come in, is a pool of stagnant water at the far end. And several holes line the wall about 70 foot up.
Oh. Because they all do what you do.
Mm.
Maybe that's where they sleep.
The tunnel's deeper in.
Can we hear anything in here?
Make a perception check.
9.
No. The only thing you're listening out, trying to listen for scratching or something to that effect to indicate there are bloodlets in here.
Mm.
The only thing you hear is a slight splash in the water.
Do we see like ripples?
A couple of ripples.
Get a bit closer to the
Pool?
As you approach it, you see on the floor around you more bat droppings through the space.
Mm.
Although looking up, there doesn't seem to be as many bats in here. Water drips constantly from the ceiling, slicking the whole stone floor, and a pungent, musty odour fills the air.
Yeah.
The ripple is spreading across the pool. Not a huge one. The pool's about 30 foot across, stretching the length of the entire back wall of the cavern. Glancing down into it, it's a little bit murky and totally still. You can see that shadows further down in the water might be man-made openings.
Good.
There's some 30 foot down. A few slimy, pale weeds grow up from the depths.
Bramble is also going to cast dancing lights, so you can keep yours up here and send them down into the water.
Okay. As you do, you can see that something at the bottom of the pool is glinting. And in the lights, you can see the man-made openings seem to look like doorways, like big archways.
And there's no other like doorway out of this room?
No.
Okay.
Just the whole 70 foot up or down into the water.
Sorry, I'm having like Narnia flashbacks. I'm like, not fucking touching this water. Well, there's something down there. That's a ways through as well, but I don't know where.
In the water?
Mm.
Do you want me to have a look?
I mean, if you're sure.
It's no sweat off my back to go down there.
Okay.
Be careful.
Cassian will dive in and have a swim down.
If you turn to solid gold, I'm...
Diving down, the water stings your eyes a little bit from how murky it is. It does no harm. The weeds brush against you like tendrils.
Right.
As soon as you're a few feet down, you can make out a little better what you're looking at. The openings you saw are great square archways carved with dwarven architecture. The long strings of pondweed grow off a few broken statues at the bottom, and the floor is entirely littered with hundreds and hundreds of gold coins.
Ooh.
Peering through the archways, they seem to lead into, like, man-made corridors. The water is murky, but you can still see some stone columns ahead as they open up into wider spaces.
Okay. I just have a little peruse down one of them just to see where they lead.
You swim down a little bit, and you see that you're swimming into what must have once been a great dwarven tomb, or maybe part of a civilization. You can see hints of crumbled statues and stone tables, and it all looks like it's been sunken down here for quite a long time, like plant life growing up underneath the stone. You see the odd semi-translucent albino catfish sort of swimming around down here.
Okay. I'll swim back up to everyone. Just, looks like a dwarven tomb.
Oh.
Oh.
Is there a way out beyond it?
I'm not sure, just more caverns.
Well, it's down there, all the way back or up there.
I don't see how we're going to get up there. Like, not without Corvus having to climb us up or you having to fly.
In that case, water breathing on everyone. Who fancies a swim?
Corvus looks down into the water. Maybe I'll see if I can meet you on the other side somewhere.
It's not running.
It's still water though, it's moving.
I don't think it would hurt me, but there's got to be a source of it somewhere. I don't want to burn up under there.
If you are able to climb up to those up there, can you see what's in them?
Sure. He just sort of walks along the outside of the water and up to the wall and just walks up it.
He doesn't breathe, right?
No.
I mean, so technically we could just put him in the bag of holding.
That's awful!
That's not a question I really want to ask someone.
I'm just...
No, it's very practical.
It's still awful!
I was just kidding.
Put Bishop in the bag.
We could.
Put Bishop in
We're not putting Bishop in the bag!
What? Huh? Not much up here. They're pretty small. Stink. Rotting plants. Maybe could slide through on our stomachs.
No.
There's nowhere to tie a rope on, but I can hold on to one if you wanted to.
Let's go swimming.
Okay. I will hopefully find you on the other side.
We don't know if we will, though.
If you go in the one directly above where we're about to go through, I can keep sending you a message every couple of minutes to make sure you're still within range.
Sure.
Or you can, you could go in the bag of holding. I'm just kidding. But if you're up for it, then maybe.
Corvus is not going in the bag of holding. End of story.
Look, we're gonna have to end up in the same place eventually.
Mhm.
I can protect myself fine.
Okay.
And I doubt they'll bother me anyway. See you on the other side of this.
Yes.
And he will just... He vanishes before your eyes, and you just see a small cloud of mist drifting into the tunnel.
Now see, that could definitely fit in the bag.
One day we can try it. One day we can ask him.
Okay.
Behind Sariel's back.
I can still hear you.
Right. I'll lead the way. Sploosh.
Okay, you dive in, and as you do, you all swim down into this murky water. Quite sort of muddy brown, but you can swim through it fine. It's not poisonous or anything. And you see at the bottom these hundreds and hundreds of coins.
Picking one up, do they have
Date.
what's on them? Like, do they have any dates or like any
They
figureheads on them? Or?
don't have any dates. They look to be dwarven in design.
Mhm.
They look to be very, very old. It's not a mint of coin that you've seen passing around anywhere.
Okay. I mean, people still accept them, though, right?
Gold is gold.
Gold is gold.
Scoop.
Okay.
Scoop some gold.
If you would like to gather coins,
Mhm.
you can gather 1d10 times 10 for every 5 minutes you want to spend doing this.
I mean, yeah, if...
Nice. 90.
So that's 70?
Is it? Yeah? So 7
50.
seconds. Nice. You can just sort of spend a few minutes scooping them up and putting them in your pockets for now.
You're so freaking rich. What the hell?
Yeah, I am.
It's on account of never buying anything, you see.
Hey, I spent my money on Vanden's armor and I've never bought anything since.
That's a mood. Me just giving it away like, please.
Okay. You swim onwards into what must be this ancient dwarven tomb or part of a civilization. You see these crumbled statues, broken stone tables and chairs, sunken sarcophagi. They're the only landmarks in this vast area. The albino catfish swim past you every now and then. You see they're nearly translucent from the lack of light, although they have pink blind eyes. Stretching out in every direction as far as you can see, the expanse of this space makes you feel insignificant as you pass through it silently. You swear the shadows around you shift and lurk as though something is watching you, but the murkiness of these stagnant waters means you can't make anything out. You just swim onwards and onwards, until eventually you reach the far end of the hall, and another corridor underwater, which begins to lead up a set of stone stairs after a short while. The ceiling of the stone cavern has collapsed onto the stairs, about halfway up, huge slabs of stone blocking your path, although the collapse has created another thin passage away from what is dwarven made that looks to be naturally cracked into the rock. You can make your way forward into the thin crevasse, forced to move one at a time inside a little room. It's dark and there's so little space to move your arms that you can use your hands instead on the cave wall to pull yourself along through the water.
We have 8 dancing lights right now as well.
Eventually, the water breaks and you breach the surface. The dancing lights come up out of the water as well and illuminate the next area. It feels as though the water has slicked you with a grease, dank and salty, an iron smell settling over you. And when you look at each other, you realise you are soaked in blood that must have mixed into the water at some point. Drenched in it, it's stuck in your hair, sort of coloured all of your skin, bright red.
We all just look like Carrie, like...
This is a look.
Prestidigitation.
You're still in the water, so
Oh, fuck.
When we get out.
Mm-hmm.
you drag yourself onwards. Chests and backs squeezed to the wall in this sort of thin stretch of stone passage that's cracked into the natural area, until you eventually find an elevated platform out of the stone which you can claw your way onto. You climb up onto it and find it dry.
Help each other up.
Mm-hmm.
You continue on into this next area, seeing no sign of where Bishop might have gone. You pass through yet another broad tunnel, until you suddenly see a dim glow ahead. The first light in hours not created by you. The tunnel emerges into a huge chamber, the cave walls climbing into blackness above you. Somewhere in the distance, you hear crashing water, although you can't see the waterfall.
I wonder if that's the same waterfall we passed before.
I mean, it makes sense if it was all connected like that. Prestidigitation.
Now lift the blood off yourself. You're still stained, but dry. And behind you, you suddenly hear something flutter back into existence. You turn around and you can see Bishop just standing there, looking over you as you lift the blood out of your clothes. What happened to you?
Water's a bit messy.
Nasty.
Has the blood on Sariel's face washed off?
Yes.
She will cut her hand again and put it back on her face.
You see Bishop swallow and sort of walk a few paces away from Sariel.
Sorry, I didn't even...
It's okay.
Stupid.
Right, well, I feel like we're probably at where they came out underneath the bridge. We can hear that waterfall up ahead. Or it might be the first waterfall we came across underground. Do you remember that one with the bridge? With like the drawbridge that we broke? I don't know, I'm just talking. Let's keep moving.
It's hard to tell.
You keep moving towards the dim light, and you realise before long that it pours from 4 iron lanterns, hung on the 4 corners of a broad stone bridge that crosses a chasm. They barely illuminate the space, but you see steps down onto the bridge and up again at the far side, leading towards a carved cave mouth on the opposite side of the rock wall. You see again another grand dwarven doorway, the stone carved intricately to display a dozen dwarven faces, most of which have completely worn away with age. 2 towering statues flank the entrance, hands resting regally on warhammers that sit on the ground. One of their faces smashed and the other's head laying on the floor some 15 feet away. The stalactites and stalagmites in this cave are so old and ancient. They themselves are more than 15 foot in places, making you feel smaller than you ever felt as you approach across the bridge. Looking down into the chasm, just seems to be mist rising up from it.
Does that sound where like the waterfall is coming from?
Even further away, somewhere along the chasm.
That was huge.
I guess we just cross.
Carefully. Remember the last time we crossed one of these bridges?
Looks sturdier.
Should we still do one at a time, or?
Sure. You pick your way across the bridge one at a time. It's fine. It's sturdy. You would even go as far as to say it's maybe a little better kept than the other cavern you were in before. And you pass into this next great gateway carved into the stone. The tunnel opens up on the other side to reveal a scale that nothing could have prepared you for. A sprawling, expansive city of stone, carved from the very innards of the caves you traverse. Echoing halls, towers, and monolithic statues loom above you, maybe 50 foot, making you feel diminutive before them. You keep moving along this passage, and sculpted effigies line the thoroughfares depicting dwarven features, full beards and stern brows, hands clasped around axe handles or greatswords, standing vigil for the centuries deep beneath the earth.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm shrinking.
This is incredible. I mean, great place for a vampire lair, I guess, but wow.
Unless you under battled the dwarves that used to live down here. Is there any, like, writing around anywhere?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Wide pathways connect these sections of the stronghold with polished black granite inlaid with expertly crafted metalwork and bordered by stout stone parapets. These give way to a plunging drop thousands of feet below. You see that these pathways lead to wide platforms of stone, although unlike the ones that you passed across the first time you were underground, these ones are crafted this way and lined with stone parapets. They're flanked on all four sides by large wrought iron braziers. Each podium is illustrated with yet more dwarven art across its full radius. One illustrates sharp lines of a battle helm inset with determined eyes, whilst another displays a past dwarven king, a crown of sculpted metal atop their head. Every effigy stands maybe 3 times your height, looming over you in judgment. Across the largest of these podiums, another tunnel leads into the giant sculpted mouth of a dwarven woman in a stone crown. You pass into the sculpted mouth of the dwarven woman, with no idea what else to do to push forward. A little way inside, the path comes to a stop, and again, framed by a stone archway, you see a large metal door built into the stone that doesn't fit the architecture at all. A few candles gleam and flicker in iron sconces driven into the walls, pale wax dripping down onto the floor. The doorway is about 8 foot wide, and built of thick metal, with a large iron knocker in the centre. It has a fist-sized keyhole, and then hanging beside that is a key that is seemingly far too small.
Bramble, can you come down here for a minute? Bramble's going to flutter down. You can do that mage hand, can't you? Do you think you can put it in there to turn the key, see what happens?
Mage hand, little dragon mage hand extends out of Bramble and takes the little key and lifts it into the keyhole and slides in. He turns it. It slides in much further than you'd expect. And he turns it and you hear click, click, ching! And then a final click. And the door unlocks.
Okay.
Long keyhole.
As Bramble's mage hand retracts again, it drags with it a small pile of hand bones.
Oh no. Glad you did that.
Good job, buddy.
Happy little Bramble flies around your head.
Well, at least we didn't lose a hand.
Yes. Thank you, Bramble.
For giving us a hand. Anyway.
Is that Vanden?
Yeah. Just gonna grab the iron knocker and just pull the door open and not look at any of you.
Well, glad to see you're being a bit brighter.
I told you I've never felt so sure of myself before.
Good. I'm glad.
Okay. On the other side of the door is a 10-foot wide stone tunnel. The walls are embellished with dwarven runes, and as you walk along, Cassian, you can interpret these. It tells a simple origin tale of these ruins from before they were ruins. They were once home to a great dwarven lord, Gloriana Crackshield. The mighty halls and chambers of this underground warren were a pinnacle of dwarven design, home to great feasts and epic smiths of dwarven past. The brief story ends with the suggestion that Cragshield sought to dig deeper into the darkness, despite the emergence of strange creatures from the shadows of the tunnels.
Oh no, they dug too deep.
Just ask the dwarves of Moria.
They dug too grizzly and too deep.
You head down the tunnel about 100 foot, and at the end there are 2 doors, one directly ahead of you and one to the right. Both made of stone, neither with locks.
Having a little peeky through both of them to see what is what.
Okay, which one first?
Right.
You push the door open to the right, and you see another long tunnel. You can see down at the end of this one that it turns a left corner. There are tiny holes studded all the way down the wall at waist and head height.
I feel like that one's trapped.
Okay.
Bramble, just go have a look. Just go have a look down the end.
Bramble dies.
Not if he doesn't set anything off.
Yeah, it's true. Bramble just flies down it. And it's not that far, so Bramble can report back to you, or you can see through Bramble's eyes if you want to. At the far end of the tunnel is a 30-foot room containing the remains of stone tables and tools. In the top corner is another statue, a dwarf standing with an anvil and forge tools. Besides the statue, another corridor continues onwards. Is Bramble going to keep looking?
Yeah, Bramble can go continue looking while we check out the other room.
Okay.
I'll relay what's in the first room and then say I'm sending Bramble further.
Right.
You're looking through the tunnel straight ahead, like through the next door.
Mm-hmm.
This tunnel looks plain, but something smells faintly of. It smells faintly of something acrid, like rotten eggs. Down the far end, you can see it splits left and right.
Cautiously walk in and peruse the tunnel.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out for traps.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check for trappers.
20, not natural.
Natural 1. For like the third time this session.
Jesus, you need to use your mouth.
You don't find anything that sort of suggests any traps down this tunnel, but the further along you get, the stronger the smell gets. From the other way, Bramble feeds back to you the vision of what must have once been a forge, a square room filled with long cold furnaces sitting dark and desolate like the corpses of colossal beasts. Coal litters the ground, stains the stonework, while a number of metal tools still hang from rusting hooks. The room is quiet and melancholy, the clang of the blacksmith's anvil long since silenced. Bent and broken remains of weapons laid scattered around the space. You can smell through Bramble's senses a faint smell of natural gas. A stone door to the far right corner is marked with dwarvish runes.
I'll play that back.
You're sort of halfway down the next tunnel as you relay that information onwards.
Can you draw what the runes look like?
Oh, sure. Pull out my bag and draw them down from what Bramble is relaying.
Mm-hmm.
Show them to Cassian.
Cassian, it reads, "Speak the word of Gloriana to open." You have no idea what that means.
Speak the word of Gloriana to open. It's a password to get to somewhere else, I suppose.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
Just keep looking around then. Maybe we'll find it.
Keep going down the stinky corridor.
You reach the end of it without traps.
Oh, stinky.
Tunnel at the end splits left and right.
Okay. And can we see anything down either passageway for the time
Make
being?
a perception check.
7.
18.
8. I'm looking through Brambles.
18. Sariel, you peer down and it's dark with the dancing lights sort of floating around you, but you can see that down the left the tunnel splits to a right turn and down a set of stairs, like going straight ahead, so a right turn and a set of separate stairs. On the right leads to a door marked with the symbol of Moran.
Okay. There's a symbol of Moran down this one, and then stairs, and then another turn.
Is that the forge one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, door to the forge.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. I saw a lot of forges through Bramble's eyes.
Widely worshipped by dwarves, to be fair.
Maybe it's the other side of the door that he couldn't get through?
That would be strange.
I don't know. I didn't see the layout of the room.
No, I don't think it led this way. It's good that we found a passage going down, though. But yeah, should we have a look through this Moran door first?
Sure.
Sure. Down these corridors, even stepping into this space left or right, the stench of something like rotten eggs grows even stronger. You take the right and you move down carefully to the door marked with the symbol of Moran. It's made of stone, maybe 10 foot high. It doesn't seem to be locked, but it's definitely stuck. It's like heavy and sort of pushing it forward. It doesn't push so easily.
Is it technically unlocked?
Yes.
Thaumaturgy. It
So-
opens unlocked doors.
Yeah, that would open it, but it's stuck on something, so it can't go
okay.
any further.
Okay.
Like, when you say it's stuck, do we have a visual on what it's stuck on, or is it something on the other side?
Something on the other side.
Okay. Well, I suppose we can't really get through here unless we find the other side. So, do we want to go further down, or do we want to investigate the door that Bramble saw?
Can we see like anything at all through the door?
Like, as it's open a little bit and then stuck on something.
Make a perception check.
17.
17. Sariel being small, you can kind of push yourself into the gap, not get your shoulders through, but peer around it. Where you'd seen effigies of dwarven figures throughout the stronghold so far, none of these can compete with the number of statues you see glimpse in this new space. It seems to be little more than a long corridor between different halls, but it's lined on either side by towering edifices depicting countless figures of dwarven descent. Many of these hold weapons in their hands, others portrayed with blacksmith hammers, horns, goblets. It looks like a number of the statues have been desecrated or knocked to the ground, but it's a long hallway that leads onwards.
A whole corridor of statues. Like a, I don't know, hall of heroes or something. But it's been desecrated by the looks of things,
Probably by the vampires.
no doubt.
And we're probably getting close.
Could even be a statue that's blocking the door.
Maybe.
Right, well, I'd like to go back and check out that other room, but that's a password.
Well, let's see what's down here first.
So you're taking the left. Turning back around and heading back the other way, you reach the split. There's the right turn and there's a set of stairs down.
We're going the stairs down.
Okay. You take the set of stairs down, it descends maybe 15 feet, and then you see what might once have been a door in this space has crumbled away into nothing. In the next chamber, in the centre, a hole in the stone floor seems to be bubbling with acid. A faint scattering of bones in here suggests that bodies may have been melted in this pit.
Oh, bad.
Standing there, please make me a Constitution saving throw.
That's the smell. Oh no.
12.
6.
7.
Okay. Cassian and Sariel, you will take 3 points of poison damage, but
We are immune to
Immune.
poison.
we're immune. No poison damage at all.
Nice.
You breathe it in, it sort of burns up your nostrils, but you sort of wait for the pain that follows and nothing comes. It seems to be the end of the line. Whatever was here has collapsed into this pit.
Back up then.
That wine worked though.
Certainly. Good idea, Sariel.
Great. The right tunnel?
I suppose so.
I suppose so.
The 5 of you move into the right. This snaking tunnel turns left and right every 20 foot or so, leading you past carved stone faces in the walls and runes that seem to be names and dates of hundreds of years ago. Perhaps labels of the people who've died here.
Sorry, you said carved faces and my brain was like, oh please, it's been ever so long since I've said it. Beware! Fucking labyrinth.
You snake around every corner and there's no further tunnel coming off it, until you enter another vast hall. This one's once proud stone doors have been torn from their foundations and sit slanted sharply to one side. Scrambling through the awkward gap between the door and its frame, you see another sprawling vestibule, this one perhaps once used for grand feasts when it was first built. Now, though, it is littered with the spoils of vampiric carnage. Dead animals and discarded bones lay haphazardly all over the room. Dirt, grime, feathers and hunks of rotting flesh are smeared across the polished floor, and numerous bloody foot and handprints skirt erratically around the room and up the stone walls. Most concerning, though, is the hundreds upon hundreds of stone coffins littered around the hall. There's little coordination or organisation to these caskets. Many seem to have been flung into corners, others laying on their sides or on top of other coffins. Blood and filth discolours the stone, adding to the stench of the humid, rotting hall. As you stare on at this disgusting space, down the far end of the hall you hear scratching.
We need to go.
Yes.
At the other end you can see there is another passage. Or it's back the way you came.
This might lead deeper though.
Go through and close the... We could, collapse the tunnel, but then we'd be stuck on that side, but at least we wouldn't have hordes of the undead coming after us.
Do we drive a sage? Just while we're in here?
A bishop?
I can stay back.
Or go forward. Before us.
Sure. You see he'll just take off ahead of you and disappears into a cloud of mist again.
Light it up.
Okay, I'll pull out the sage. Anyone got the light?
Thaumaturgy.
A cloud of smoke sort of erupts out of it and starts spreading around you,
That smells nicer than the last place.
burning slowly. The scent is nice and it sort of makes an aura around you of this odd smoke.
We'll start moving through. Yeah. Silently.
Okay. You move onwards, picking around these stone coffins, with the smoke following you. Every now and then, you see a gaunt, wretched head sticking up over the side of one of them and sort of veering away further into the darkness at the centre of the stage. You pick your way across the massive dining hall to the other side. And what you thought was a tunnel looks more like a crawl space. It leads further into the wall.
Well, we're here now.
Okay,
I'll go first.
Sure.
be careful.
Will do.
You get down on your hands and knees, and you crawl into this small tunnel that's been bored into the rock. You head onwards and you feel the rock snagging at your clothes and pulling at your hair. You crawl forward on hand and knee like this as your friends come into the tunnel behind you. You keep moving through the dark. It whines and bites at your clothing, at your skin. I think everybody will probably take 3 points of piercing damage just from the rock scraping against you.
Boy.
But you emerge eventually, and without any trouble, into another area. It's a smaller hall, decorated just as ornately as you might expect a throne room to be. Hammered gold and silver line a towering archway of a door at the other end, and though a thin layer of coal dust covers the floor, the slip of the stone under your feet suggests it was once polished to a gleaming finish. Several iron dishes around the room suggest there were once great fires burning in here. There is little else in the way of furnishings or fittings besides an elaborately carved stone sarcophagi within a circle of iron candelabras. The sarcophagus chronicles the visage of a lady dwarf, her eyes closed and her hands around the handle of a great battle axe resting on her chest. A crown is nestled within her wild curls. On the sarcophagus, the carved runes identify her as Gloriana Crackshield, the great lady of the crag and halls. Another inscription on top of the sarcophagus reads, "By my word, may the fires of the crag and halls always burn."
There's the password.
What, do you want to go back?
No, I'm just saying that
For
if we
future?
need to,
Good to know.
if this doesn't lead anywhere else. Does it lead anywhere else?
There is the doorway at the other side.
Okay, looking through the doorway.
You make your way over to the door at the other end of the room, and again, it seems to be somewhat hanging off its hinges, made of stone. It's quite heavy, but you think with the strength of the four of you, you could force it open. Everybody make a strength check.
20.
19.
2. Astra, Cassian and Vanden sort of carry it, but Sariel's definitely there. As you all push against the doors, you push them really, really hard.
It's more than Bishop did.
He's a cloud of mist right now. And one of them just falls heavily off its hinges. You hear a whirring of something on the other side.
Duck.
Out the way.
You sort of step back. Nothing happens. But you peer around the door frame again. You see a long sloping tunnel that leads all the way down and has a subtle horizontal slit in each wall about 4 foot up. Further down, a skeleton lies on the floor, its skull lying about 3 feet away.
Oh no.
Well, this is definitely trapped.
I'm gonna look at the floor and see if any of like the tiles are trapped.
Make an investigation check. Ugh.
10.
10. You look down and at first you're not sure, you're pretty sure one of them is trapped. Looking all over it, you realise all of them are trapped. Every single tile seems to have a pressure plate.
Oh, okay. They're all trapped.
Great!
So, on my hands and knees, still in the doorway, I'm just gonna reach in and just
You press down on
press
the first
down
one.
on one of them.
Out of one of the horizontal slits in the wall, a huge, rusty, spinning guillotine blade flies out and swipes towards where you are, over your head. And then it sinks back into the wall.
Slap the one next to it.
Happens again on the other side.
Try the first one again.
First one.
Happens again on the first one.
Right.
So just crawl?
Or slide.
I mean, doesn't look like there's any slits at this level.
No.
I mean, something important must be at the other end because it wouldn't be trapped otherwise.
Unless this tomb is the important bit, and we've come in the back.
I don't know.
Well, I feel like we must have come in the back because we came through a hole. So this is what leads to here.
This is protecting that password.
But what comes from there?
Who knows?
I don't know if it's important.
Maybe a faster way back up to the front where we came from.
Maybe.
Is Bramble still at the forge?
No. Bramble's with us now.
So what, do we want to just belly crawl our way through here?
It's not elegant, but at least we won't get our heads chopped off.
Well, you said it was a slope going down.
Yes.
We could just slide.
We could just slide.
Sure.
Astra, would you like a push?
I will take my time, thank you.
Okay.
I will start slowly going forward.
You press the next one and it doesn't depress.
This one's safe. This one's safe.
Okay.
I will get out my art supplies, I guess, that I have, and just
That's just gonna.
X,
And
and then keep going forward.
next one doesn't press it.
X.
They feel like they should depress, but they might be broken,
Nice.
seeing as it's so old.
Nice. I will continue.
In this fashion.
The rest of us sort of stand there at the end of this tunnel in the doorway as Astra crawls forward, one hand at a time,
Like a cat with a red
Yeah.
dot.
getting some ink out and just marking on the tiles that don't depress.
I prefer if you didn't watch me. This is not very elegant.
This is very entertaining, Astra.
I like that he's just in high heels doing this.
As Astra makes it about halfway down this corridor, two things. Astra, you see ahead of you a crossroads in the path as it sort of turns you out of view of the others. One seems to be a collapsed tunnel that's completely fallen in.
Okay.
Another seems to lead back into the Hall of Statues that
All of statues.
Sariel was mentioning, and the other one leads on forwards.
Oh.
Cassian, Sariel, and Vanden,
Hello.
you hear scratching coming from the tunnel behind you.
Way to go.
We still have the No Vampire Sage.
But you can just hear like something in the tunnel.
I found a way into that statue.
Can you
hallway.
move faster?
I can try.
There's someone coming.
Are we going straight on, or are we going to the statue, like the hallway statue place?
Can you see what's ahead?
Not ahead, just on.
As you scoot forward a little bit further, make a perception check.
Please.
That one.
Nat one. Okay. You peer around the next corner to see where the tunnel leads. You see that in about another 20 foot, the horizontal slits in the wall stop. And there's darkness beyond.
Okay. I think that way is the end of the slits in the walls, so
I'm just gonna crawl.
yeah. I've marked the safe ones.
Then he just gets down on his belly and like a belly crawls
Yep.
along this floor. As you do, the blades above you just spin out of the wall, one after the other, and lash out at the air above you. Eventually, with the pressure of 3 more of you on these stones, one of them just gets stuck. It's like can't reset.
Good.
But you crawl onwards.
So we're going to the statues or on?
Statues.
Okay, I'll crawl that way.
You hang a right into the statue room and pull yourself back up off the floor, standing up again at last. You can now see into this area, and the others catch up with you before long. Sort of filth coating the front of your clothes. You see this huge corridor full of stone figures. You can see down the other end that it is the head of one of them that's fallen in front of the door that
Okay.
you've left slightly open. With the passing of years and most likely the help of the Stronghold's new vampiric dwellers, many of the statues have been knocked over. You can see pieces of them smashed all over the ground. You can still make out chiselled plaques at the feet of many of them. See names like Dragon's Bane and Edric Onyx Fall, Boric the Brave.
We could at least try and move this head to get back up to the
Yes,
password.
that's the better way to go.
Is there anything at the other end of this?
At the other end of the hallway, like
Yeah, any other passageways or is that
Okay.
it?
As you sort of glance down the hallway, you can see several spaces that twist off and turn corners. But as you move through them, you see collapsed tunnels now filled with rock.
Okay. Yeah, we're better off going back the way that we would have come through.
Let's see what's blocking the door.
Yeah, just
Move
this
the
big
head.
stone head.
Oh, okay. Good.
Roll the head away.
Yeah, say between the four of you can
Yeah.
roll it.
Sariel definitely has her hands on it.
It is true.
We'll slip
Sariel's
through the
definitely touching it.
We'll slip through the door and like close it behind us.
Okay. It closes again and you're back in the first corridor that smells really eggy. Eggy.
Eggy!
Without context, that's so funny.
Eggy!
Eggy!
Eggy! Oh my
We will
god.
go to... Say that again. We will go to where Brabble saw the forge, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay, you make your way all the way back to the first corridor. And glancing down it, you see all of these tiny pinprick holes in the wall.
Do they... How high up and down do they go on the wall? Because we could just army crawl again.
There looks like there's sort of low ones this time and high ones.
How long's the corridor?
About 50 feet.
We just go really fast.
I will check and see if I can find if there is like one particular pressure plate or if there's lots of them like there were for the other one.
Make an investigation check.
Please. 13?
13. Okay. Without moving forward into the corridor, you're definitely aware that one of the first two tiles, it being like two astride, one of the first two is a pressure plate.
Well, one of the first two will set them off, but I'm not sure about the rest of the corridor.
Okay, let's just keep an eye on the ground. Start moving through.
Okay. Are you doing it one at a time? Are you all moving together?
One at a time.
It's probably safer.
Who's going first?
I'll go first. I was looking.
Okay. If you would like to perceive any further tiles, make me an investigation check. If you would like to just pass through, make a dex check.
22.
22 on investigation.
So do this carefully.
So the next two are trapped. So if you want to pass over them, you'll have to jump or run.
Jump.
Okay. Make a dex check.
19.
19. You land on the next tiles along. Cock. And it doesn't depress beneath your feet.
Keep going.
Make me another investigation check.
Watch him very carefully to see where he's stepping.
19.
19. Okay. Doesn't feel like either of the ones ahead of you.
Okay. Just keep going forward in this fashion.
We'll just try and note where he is standing.
Cassian just keeps picking through. You come to one section again where there seems to be two more tiles trapped ahead of you. Jumping or running.
Jumping.
Make an athletic check or a dex check.
7.
7. Okay. As you step on it, it depresses beneath your feet. You brace yourself and wait for something to happen, and you see two darts try and make their way out of the holes at the side and just hang there with no real force behind them anymore.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's far too old.
Okay. Should we just run then?
He takes off running.
Yeah, you just run down to the other end of the hall and you hear ch-ch-ch, and some of these darts fly out and just fall onto the floor.
Just follow her.
Yeah. You make it down to the other end.
That was anticlimactic.
A little bit, yes.
It's a bit disappointing, really.
Where's the adrenaline?
You see this 30-foot room containing remains of stone tables and tools. In the top corner, a statue of a dwarf, and the corridor that continues onwards towards the door.
Go over to the door.
Just going straight in.
The password.
No, but this, I'm going into the room with the...
Make a dex save.
Okay, Astra.
11.
11. Okay. You're going to take... It's you, so 5 points of fire damage, half to 2, as you pass by the statue, and little nozzles at the bottom release a spout of flame, Some of them upwards towards the statue, like they're supposed to dramatically sort of light it up as you pass, but 2 of them directly towards you.
Oh,
Just a spurt of fire into your face. You okay?
Astra just blinks and just sort of wipes their face like... Well, that's a bit rude, isn't it? We'll just carry on. Just be careful when you come through.
Okay.
Okay. You can pick your way around away from the statue and pass through into the next area, where you see this forge room full of long, cold, giant furnaces, and this door in the back corner with the dwarvish runes that says, "Speak the word of Gloriana to open."
That's the door that does it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Let's pick around and see if there's anything fun that's been left behind
That isn't just broken.
that isn't just broken.
You pick your way through, make an investigation check.
21.
14. 13.
Okay. You pick around and you find bent and broken old weapons, rusty tools, nothing of particular purpose until, Cassian, you find a really shiny looking piece of like chest armour. And you go to lift it up where it's got the back still fixed to it. And just a huge swarm of bats come flying out of it. They start fluttering around the room and swarming down towards you. One of them tries to bite you.
oh,
That's a 9, so you sort of swipe it away, but they're all buzzing overhead. Is there anything you're doing? As they start ducking and weaving and start coming down to bite you. Cassian stands there looking really annoyed.
This is cruel for my 21.
You found the only thing left to find in this room.
Bats. Is the chest armor any good?
It's a little small for you.
Puts it back down. Sadly.
I guess throw some frostbites out if they keep trying to dive at us.
Okay. Roll an attack.
It's con saves for them.
Con saves for the bats.
How constitute a bat?
You throwing out some frostbites, I will roll 3 con saves for the 3 swarms.
Okay.
11, a 12, and an 18.
11 and 12 fail, the 18 succeeds, but the first group take 7 points of cold damage. Second group take also 7 points of cold damage, and they have disadvantaged on the next weapon attack.
Weapons?
Yep.
Bats are weapons.
Yeah. I'm guessing next bite attack.
Yeah.
That would include.
They just pick up one of the rusty swords.
Disadvantage, the first swarm's going to try and bite you. Nope. And the second swarm as well. Nope.
Cassian's gonna just force his dancing lights like into the groups of bats to try and make them disperse and confuse them.
They hate the light. You see that they start flying upwards away from the lights.
That's what I thought.
Turn my staff on then.
Yeah. As you illuminate the room, the bats all sort of take off all the way up to the ceiling.
Right.
Right.
Nothing else of interest in here.
Right. To the
To the
password
door.
door.
Walk up to the door and say the password.
That we would remember in
You walk up and you speak, "May the fires of the Kragan halls always burn."
That's the one.
And with that, you see a shimmer of magic over this door, and it just lets out a rush of air as it opens slightly.
Start pushing it forward and see what's in there.
Yeah.
You push it open and you see, you suppose, a storage room. It doesn't look like there's too much in here that's completely survived, but otherwise make an investigation check.
Natural 20, 23.
Nice.
10.
17.
Okay. Cassian, you and Vanden sort of pick over old tools and more of the like that look like they've worn away with age. Pick them up, crumbling in your hands.
Not worth
More old dwarven armour and weapons that are damaged with time and not really sized for you anyway.
it. I think you'd look cute in a crop topped grace.
Don't even look at me. Astra, you find a pair of heavy iron boots with spikes on the soles.
Ooh.
And 2 hand axes that have what looks like small pitons on them.
Oh, climbing.
Oh, climbing.
Climbing kit.
Sariel, you find a small wooden chest, maybe like a foot across.
Okay.
It has a lock, but it seems to be old enough you could probably smash it open if you wanted to.
Try and smash it open.
At the far end of the room, Sariel picks up this chest, shakes it a little to the sound of money, and then just smashes it on the floor. Out comes pouring hundreds of platinum pieces.
Divvy it up! Divvy it up!
How much is in there?
300 platinum pieces.
Okay!
It's 75 platinum each.
Nice. Does Bishop want any?
Bishop isn't. The cloud of mist is not with you right now.
This is obscene.
This is obscene. What on earth?
You guys are level 8, you deserve to have some proper treasure.
This is obscene.
What are the boots?
They are iron boots with spikes on them.
Like part of
For
the climbing
climbing.
kit,
Potentially for traversing rocky or slippery surfaces.
Great. Well, these boots will help if we want to climb anything that's rocky or slippery, and these hand axes look like you could probably use them to
Perfect.
So
climb.
someone can better lead the charge next time we have climbing to do.
So they work as hand axes, just regular, non-magical, but you will have advantage on climbing checks on rock.
Nice. Does anybody want these boots? I mean, I'll take them if you don't want them.
I mean, do they not go with the axes?
I suppose so.
So that your feet can get better footholds as well.
Yes, I suppose so.
You just don't want to take off your heels, do you?
No. These look good.
Well, put them in the bag in case you need them.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all there is to find, but I mean, that's a hefty 300 platinum.
Okay, now where?
That's a good question.
Well, there's that one last corridor back at the top after the guillotines.
We'll make our way back there.
You pick your way back through. You push back into the Hall of Heroes and pass through to the far end.
Just keeping an eye out for vampires.
Vampires. As you walk through, you don't seem to hear anything. And you see the remainder of the tunnel that you were crawling through, with the guillotines stopping about 10 foot further. You can crawl underneath them and make your way down to the final bit, into the dark where you couldn't see before. And you realise it is dark here. There's a rolling mist, and the blackness is far less penetrable than it was before.
Do the shadows look weird?
They do look a little bit weird.
This is the right way. This is the telltale signs of a vampire lord.
Good.
With the
Fun.
Should we turn our lights out yet or not?
I guess so.
Because we'd never know when we're approaching the portal until we get there, I suppose.
We can all see in the dark, so.
Corvus?
Corvus. Mistman.
There is a quiet flutter behind you again. He's like,
Okay, you're still with us.
still here.
Press forward, I suppose.
Onwards inside. You move through another great stone archway, and inside, in shades of grey, you can vaguely make out a grand hall fashioned like a dwarven temple. Huge ornate stone columns reach up to a raw rock ceiling. Some of the walls in this space left natural, others carved to have dozens of steps leading down to the centre of the room, where a towering statue of Moran stands proudly holding a great flaming hammer over its head. The black stone floor in here is coated with something slick, more smeared over the face of the holy statue, many of Moradin's features chipped away. More shocking still, two bodies hang chained by the feet from each of his arms dangling down towards the floor, shrunken and grey after having been drained of all blood. They swing slightly, like something has just moved past them recently.
Which way? Like towards us or like away?
Just like side to side.
Be on the absolute alert.
Keeping an eye out, like looking into the weird shadows to see if there's any movement anywhere.
You glance down, and you see at the far end of the room a single collapsed tunnel. But beside you, on the walls, as you're keeping an eye out, you see something crawling, disappearing into a shadow.
How big?
And then on the other side of you as well, humanoid-sized, And then, realizing they're crawling up, you turn your faces up to the ceiling and you see maybe 10 of them all hanging there above you, staring down at you with glinting red eyes. One of them drops off the ceiling to land on the floor in front of you, sort of opens its gaunt mouth and hisses through sharp teeth.
Word of radiance.
I would like you to roll initiative.
I'm not.
Oh, shit initiative. Okay. Astra.
12.
Cassian.
16.
Sariel.
Also 12.
That's a frickin' 8 for Vanden.
Fucking exceptional from everyone.
Cassian, directly in front of you, this nasty-looking, gaunt, grey vampire lands with glinting red eyes and hisses at you. You're up first.
Okay, he's just gonna cast Booming Blade across his sword and take a swing.
Okay.
And if he can, since we're all clustered together, like, move into flanking position.
Not quite.
Not
Someone
quite.
else would have to move too.
Okie dokie. It's a dirty... No, it's a 19.
19 hits.
4. Slipped out of my hand. 8 slashing and 8 thunder.
Okay.
And if it moves, it will take thunder damage.
Nice.
Couple ammo.
And it will move, because it's just going to lunge forward towards you with its claws.
And it will take a further 10 points of thunder damage.
Nice. Which negates, because it heals that at the same time, but at least it didn't heal too much higher. It's going to lunge forward and try and swipe you with its claws.
Ah.
That's a natural 20.
Oh, Entropic Ward.
Ooh, impose disadvantage. That's a 15.
That misses.
15 misses. Oh, sort of energy explodes out of Cassian and it sort of stumbles at the last moment before it claws you. It'll take its second swipe at you as well. That's a natural 20. Okay.
This vampire's really like on you. Desperate to hurt you.
For 5 doubled to 10 slashing damage.
Ow.
As the first one falls short, it just lashes out twice as angry with the second one. Astra, you're up.
How high up are they?
On the ceiling. Where's my notes about the height of the chamber? I didn't. 25 feet?
Okay. How many are there?
There are 10.
Can all of them make a Dex 15 save, please?
Let's see, shall we?
His Astra's cloak lights up to cast Fairy Fire on all of them.
Fails. 1 success. Fails. 2 successes, but 8 of them are lit up in fairy fire on the ceiling.
Cool. Cool. And I will come around to give you advantage on your next, like, to flank this
Nice.
first vampire.
Tight.
Sariel, we come to you.
I'm gonna go for this very flanked vampire and try and slash at it. Like a 23.
That hits.
10 points of acid damage.
Nice. Okay, you doing anything else?
I'll stay where I am.
Nice. Much ceiling advantage. No sword reach.
Fireball.
Yeah, Vanden is going to, at advantage, launch a fireball up towards the ceiling. Does that hit? Really, Vanden? Not at advantage? It hits. Okay, it just hits. One of them will take 2d10s of fire damage.
Nice.
Vanden flings a ball of fire up towards the ceiling, and straight afterwards, Bishop lets out 2 arrows towards them as well, on the fairy-fired ones. That's a crit.
Yay.
We love a crit.
We love a crit, baby.
So that's a d8 plus a d6 of radiant damage. Nice. Okay. Bishop shoots one of them down off the ceiling and it rides around on the floor with a bolt stuck into its head.
Nice.
It doesn't move again.
Nice.
Excellent.
Okay. That's one of the verified ones down. There's 7 left. These creatures on the ceiling.
Mhm.
They are going to start crawling down the wall. 25 foot. They can't quite reach you on this round. As they crawl all the way down and they're like 5 foot away from the group of you. So that's all they're going to do. Cassian back to the top of the round.
He's going to shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts at advantage at one of the verified ones.
Nice.
So for the first one. Okay, so it's a 12, which I don't think hits. But I now have the Elven Accuracy feat.
So you can roll another
So when I
D20.
roll with advantage, I can roll a third one if I miss. 18.
18 definitely hits.
Hell yeah.
And then the second one, another 18.
Nice.
So those 2 blasts add up to 24 points of force
It goes
damage.
down.
Nice.
You strike this one down and just Eldritch Blast explodes across its chest and like the dead husk of it fires backwards against the wall. You know that this must be like young or fresh vampires. No mist forms when they get shot down.
The scrawny ones are easy kills.
The one in front of you, flanked by everyone, is going to take a swing at Sariel, who just struck it with acid. That's a 15.
Shield.
Okay. Brings its claws down furiously to fail to hit again. So it will try a second time. Even lower.
Cool.
Okay, shield deflects both of its blows. Astra, we come to you.
Can they all please make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
That is low.
So it's 15.
Is that for everybody, including the one flanked?
Yep.
Okay. So there's 8 of them and then...
And Bishop.
Oh fuck!
Uh-oh.
Is this for turn?
Turn undead.
They all fail except one.
Okay.
Bishop and the one you've got flanked make it anyway.
Cool. So yeah, Astra's Melora pendant just seems to glow on their chest as he's just... The name of Melora comes to his head and he's just, in Melora's name, you need to get back away from us right now. As he casts Turn Undead.
Okay.
So they have to spend their turn trying to move as far away from us as we can. It can't willingly move into a space within 30 feet of me, and it also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try and escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action.
Okay.
So they come down the wall and then they're like, no.
As is Sariel and Cassian flanking this one in the center with Astra, you see their pendant light up under their cloak and just start to elevate a little bit. Astra's eyes flash with something like radiant light, and all of the smaller vampires just start creeping backwards. You see even Bishop stills in the one in the middle, but doesn't move anywhere. Sariel. So they have to use their turn, so they're still here until their turn. What if you do that again?
She will primal slash at the big boy.
Okay.
13.
13 doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
She doesn't.
Vanden, seeing them all start to back away slightly, will come in and use the opportunity of the mega flank to hack at
Bully.
this thing with his sword. Oh no, it was... Yeah, wow, that's a miss on both of them.
Wow.
Advantage.
Oh no!
Tragic.
Are we... What's happening?
What's happening? That was a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
I got a
On
1
4
and,
dice.
1 and a 7.
Okay. The vampire you have trapped in the middle just deflects your claws away, turns and deflects the sword, maybe panicked in being so surrounded.
So these things will keep trying to move up, by the way, for 1 minute or until they take damage.
Okay. Bishop glances over at you as his tongue comes around saying, "What did you do?" And it's just going to turn and start shooting at the ones that are fairy fired still. Oh, you can hit. Okay. Second one. Second one's a crit again. Bishop
Oh
can
yeah,
hit.
Bishop.
Fuck you, Vanden. Yes.
Hey, be nice to him. He died.
It's true. It's true, he did die today.
Did you die though?
Did you die?
Bishop's already dead.
Maybe he's over it.
Bishop takes out another one that's fairy-fired with 2 of these bolts in his crossbow.
Sick.
But as he does so, all the rest of them just flee back into the tunnel from where you came. They just disappear out of the darkness beyond where you can see.
I don't think we've got long.
Okay, let's get rid of this one and then go.
Cassian.
It's Booming Blade.
Nice.
They're both 4s, so using elven accuracy. 18 to hit.
18 hits.
I love this feat.
It's very good.
What's with these 4s and below?
What is going on?
Should be an elf. 5 slashing and 6 thunder, and once again, if it takes a move, it will take more
Okay.
thunder damage.
It won't move now because it's flanked on all sides, so it can't move out of the square at all. It is going to, seeing Cassian as the biggest threat, swipe out. Well, you're the only one hitting it.
This is true, but I have.
It's going to hit you with both of those. Its claws in both instances. Howie. So that's 5 and then 6, so 11 points of slashing damage off its claws. Astra. This one in the middle, you all have flanked.
It's just, again, with just like no real expression on their face, they're just going to pull out the Storm of Justice and just try and hit it on the head.
At advantage.
At advantage.
Kablamo.
Kablooey.
23.
23 definitely hits.
Boom.
Clap.
Oh, it's with 2 hands, so it's a D10. 6 hammer damage.
6 bludgeoning.
Yep. And it's charged for the day, so I'm going to use the charge again because it's a new day. Why not? So 3d8s. 13 thunder damage.
13 thunder damage. The lightning crackles out of the end of the hammer and consumes it. It's starting to look pretty rough.
Good.
Sariel.
It's primal savagery.
This is your melee spell attack.
21?
21 hits.
5.
5 points from me. It's damage. As it's distracted, being electrocuted by Astra's hammer, you strike it across the back with both claws, and acid burns through its undead skin.
And now it's Vanden's turn.
And now it's Vanden. It's sword. Thank you, better.
Nice.
Okay, that's 2 d6s because he's got his great sword back.
It's a great sword.
It's a great sword. Thank you, Peter Fulgrim. So 11, 15 on the first strike. Oh no, that's not mine. Oh, d20.
Don't be rolling those.
And this one just hits. Both under 10 again, but great sword.
Which is great.
Oh. Second strike, he just lops off its head. You see, before the head can hit the floor, the whole thing turns into mist and just starts drifting out of the door.
Okay, we should probably make a move.
Now,
It'll be back. And so will those things. I don't think they stay away from that long.
Okay, let's go, let's go.
you just turn and you keep moving towards the tunnel at the far end of the room. At the far end, you see that a tunnel has collapsed, but there's enough space that you think you can traverse through it. The fallen rocks leaving a gap above the top that you reckon you could climb over.
We're just moving through with speed.
Okay, make an athletics check to climb through unharmed.
I'm going to take out my my new little hand axes and
Make an advantage.
nice.
19. Cassian dives through.
I got crit.
Nice.
So 24.
24. Astra, you just sprint ahead, pulling out the hand axes and start climbing up, sliding through the hole. Cassian, 19.
Yeah.
You follow after Astra, putting feet up on the rocks, scrambling through. Sariel, 2.
Just fling me under a bus, honestly.
Vanden moves forward and past you and up over the rocks as well. You start climbing up and you slide, and Bishop just catches you from behind before you hit the floor. What's your footing? And he will help you up to the top.
Shut up!
Come on, through. You see he turns back around and fires 2 more crossbow bolts, like, into the dark. You think they must be pursuing. You proceed through the collapsed tunnel. Astra, you have to keep your head low to avoid your horns scraping across the ceiling. It's incredibly dark and an unkempt, musty smell pervades the air. Were it not for your dark vision, you might have missed the strange and unexpected sight that comes into view as you climb down the other side of the fallen rocks. A shifting, undulating energy spans across from one wall to the other. It ripples like refracted rays of sunlight on moving water. And whilst it's difficult to tell exactly what you see, you swear you can see somewhere else beyond it in the dark. After a moment, you realise you're looking at another portal, like the one Fulgrim stepped out of a few mornings ago.
Jesus, it really was, huh?
Yeah. So much has happened.
While you are deep within this maze of tunnels, beyond the shimmer is evidently an exterior location. You can vaguely make out the line of the sky versus horizon, and though still dark, there is light and shade in some capacity that you don't have here. The energy swims across this other world like a barrier, shifting and refracting fluidly so that it never looks the same twice. I think this is it.
Into the Shadowfell.
I mean, it looks inviting.
Cassian just reaches to grip out whoever's hands are next to him.
You can all hold on to each other
I'll squeeze.
as you move forwards into the portal. As you step into the glimmer, the world around you seems to fluctuate strangely, dizzying you momentarily, all your senses cutting off until you feel like the air has been stolen from your lungs. You push forward, unsure even of the solid ground beneath your feet, feeling deafened and blinded, feeling like you can't feel anything at all. You grope blindly in the dark for anything, the walls of the tunnel completely gone from around you, eyes straining to see until cold washes over you like an icy wind. Your vision clears to a world of grey and black, a natural landscape gnarled and deformed before your eyes. Blackened husks of trees wither to dust and blow away right in front of you. In the distance, the ruin of a building collapses as though someone had pulled the foundations out from beneath it, and a hill rises even further beyond. You slowly become aware of the pinprick shimmering of dozens of spirits in the landscape around you, glowing a hazy grey-blue as they float through it, lost and directionless. Above you, rocks float like leaves in the wind, carried on the stale air, circling thousands of feet into the sunless, moonless vault of inky black sky. And all things look as if the colour has been leached out of them. Within a few feet of you, you see the faintest dregs of it. Green on the wilting plant life, the brown of the earth, the muted colours of your own clothing. But looking beyond yourselves, you see nothing but grey and black. The world drained of colour entirely, as if colour itself were life, sapped out of this place. Echoes of screams and whispers carry past you, incomprehensible and alarming, your bodies drawing into themselves instinctively as though in danger. And you turn back towards the portal you stepped through, wanting nothing more than to leave this unnatural place the second you arrive, but the shimmer is no more. Instead, you see a vast and terrifying city in the darkness, huge stone walls rising seemingly from the deformed rocks themselves. Gothic towers beyond stretching crookedly into the sky, alien compared to the wasteland in which you stand. Ash flutters upwards towards it like snowflakes, and a sickly heat radiates from the city walls. The black iron gates stand hundreds of feet tall, half open, and beckoning you forwards into the surreal and forsaken ruins of the City of the Dead. And I think that is where we will end tonight.
Aye.
Welcome to another plane of existence, motherfuckers.
It's our first jaunt out of this plane.
Yeah.
Oh, not including the Feywild. But oh fuck. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
We're in the Shadowfell, babies.
Fuck yeah. Oh god. Oh god. Scared.
Scared. Excited. Scared.
Mm-hmm.
We should have left a dynamite in that tunnel as
We
Yeah.
should have,
Yeah.
but...
Okay. Thank you guys very much for playing.
Thank
For
you
DMing.
For traversing my dwarven ruins and getting minted in the process.
Hell yeah, we
Absolutely.
you.
Song.
Got so much money right now.
Good. Good. I mean, you're level 8, babies.
Vanden,
Then we'll get there eventually. That's what happens when you die, you see. You lose a little bit of experience.
It's true.
Thanks, babes.
Do it again, bitch.
And you can't get the experience back unless you kill the thing that killed you, so...
Oh shit. Bring it on.
Come at me, bro.
No.
Thank you for
You've got
DMing.
triple advantage now. Thank you very much for playing. You specifically.
Why?
Thank you for Turn Undead.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for turning on
I wish Sariel a very big vampire man. And I wish all of you a great week ahead as we move towards the next episode of The Raven's Favour, drawing somewhat close to the conclusion now. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a like and a comment below to let us know. If you want to, please share it on social media so that other people can see and enjoy it, or with your friends if you think they'd like it. But otherwise, until next time, we are nyxrising, and we love you. Bye! Bye! Bye!
Just quickly an off-camera thing before we do. I was typing potion of maximum power, and it just autocorrected to potion. OMG! Maximum power!
Hello friends, it's Cassian. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you again next week as we venture into the realm of shadow. If you want to support the party's adventures, you can do so at patreon.com/nyxrising, or grab yourself some merch at lotbstore.com. And special thank yous as always to our executive producers, Adira A, Alexandra Johansson, Benedict Allen, Emily Hogarth, Sofia Johansson, Caitlin Ferguson, Liam Moran, Lissa, Meghan Charles, and Kaylee Rachel. Until next time, watch your back, and we'll see you on Wednesday.